of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing. The small fringe minority holding unacceptable views. Small views, unacceptable. Fringe minority, unacceptable. Of a society, of a just society, is not whether we stand up for people's rights when it's easy or popular to do so. It's whether we recognize rights when it's difficult, when it's unpopular. We are a society that stands up for people's rights, and when governments fail to respect people's rights, we all end up paying. I think that is the lesson that hopefully future governments will draw from this settlement.
You're a f***ing idiot.
When governments fail to respect people's rights, we all end up paying.
Hello. Hey guys. How's it going? Spoon, I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, so he'll be back in just a moment. But, yeah, how's it going, guys? So, the last week has been, let's just say, hilarious. Hello, are you back?
Oh my goodness, the last week has been fantastic. It just gets stupider and stupider, my god.
It's certainly been amusing.
Can I just say, we should all feel ashamed of ourselves that Canada, a country that is known for its polite and somewhat cocked nature, is now turning like the most base nation in the world. It's like, what the hell is going on?
No one ever expected the fucking leaf.
Yeah.
Honestly, it makes America look bad. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing that Canada is being far more based than America is, but, you know, such is the way of things. The whole world's turned upside down. Canada might as well have become the based one. But yeah, that's
kind of shocking.
Yeah, it is shocking, but that's sort of the number one really big news of the week, which we will get to, but I think first we need to start with something else, which is some very important news, because I don't know if you're aware of this, Spoon, but it's Black History Month. Are you aware?
I have to comment?
Yeah, it's Black... I mean, I'm hoping you're gonna plan on finding some way to celebrate. Well, because the state of California is...
By doing what exactly? By mass rioting and looting?
I mean, they're always doing that. But no, something special. This time...
Yeah, but now they have a month for doing it.
Yes, but in particular, BLM leaders are warned that they will be held personally liable if they fail to disclose details of $60 million in donation by California DOJ as charities' financial mysteries deepen. Uh-oh. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, look, things will be stolen, and for once you may not get away with it.
Well, no, I think this is mostly about the, you know, Patrisse Cullors and other leaders of the BLM movement. I mean, her in particular, she bought
Even bastards.
She bought like a $4 million house, or multi-million-dollar house now, didn't she? In Canada, I think, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the Canadian mansion.
Yeah, if you're not aware, Patrisse Cullors, who is a sort of founding, I don't know how much of a founder she is, but she was certainly a leading member, and she says co-founder of Black Lives Matter, owns now 4 mansions, 3 in California, and I think 1 now in Canada. Wow. How did she afford those?
Marxism really seems to do great for property rights.
Yeah, it is weird. Let's see if I can find a picture of some of her mansions. Yeah. Yep. Here, another article on Patrice here specifically. Black Lives Matter transferred millions to Canadian charity run by wife and co-founder Patrice Cullors to buy Toronto mansion formerly owned by the Communist Party. You can't make that part up, man. Like, that part.
That's why I put it in my video. I just looked at one like, there's no in hell this is true.
It is true.
And then I looked it up like, oh my god, I actually... a Marxist organization bought a communist house. It's like...
A communist mansion. Come on.
It's just...
10,000 square foot art center and meeting space. The 6.3 million mansion was bought by M4BJ, a Toronto-based nonprofit set up by Janaya Khan, wife of BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors.
Non-profits.
Right, is a nonprofit. Cullors was executive director of the
Someone
group.
is sure as hell profiting, and sure as hell isn't black people.
Well, some black people are. What are you talking about? These two.
Black persons.
Yeah, that's black people. That's
Like,
plural.
there's like 3 of them.
That's black people. Come on. That counts.
The rest of you lemmings, you can smash and, loot some shit out of a Gucci store, but the other, 3 handful of people that are minted, they can buy mansions. Mm-hmm. And legally.
Yeah.
Whereas you are just
Here
a
it
pawn that makes everyone hate you.
It is pretty.
Congratulations, you fucking moronic imbeciles.
Oh, let's see. These are the... I don't care. I was trying to look at their house.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the
just
balls.
what a way.
I have to admire the complete balls for them to actually get away with that kind of shit.
Yeah, so that was on January
yeah.
30th that was published, and then February 2nd is the BLM leaders are warned they will be held personally liable if they fail to disclose details. 60 million donations by California DOJ as charities' financial mysteries deepen. The California DOJ has threatened to hold the leaders of Black Lives Matter personally liable over charities' misleading financial records. The organization has 60 days to disclose records about its 60 million in donations, or it could have its tax-exempt status revoked.
Like the tax-exempt status?
They're a non-profit, yeah. They're a non-profit for-profit non-profit. Furious Dan says Black Lives monetize. Yeah. Oof.
Not Black Lives monetize.
Oh, speaking of monetizing, I think that Streamlabs link should work now. Either one should work. It was actually a problem with my bank, or not by my bank, my PayPal. But I think it's taken care of now. So if you want to donate, it should work. And let me bring up Streamlabs so that I can see it, because I didn't even think about that yet. Anywho, so yeah, that's a great way to... DOJ requested a copy of BLM's annual registration renewal fee and its 2020 IRS tax form within 2 months time frame. Looks like it's going great.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but did you know girls like boys?
What?
Did you know girls like boys?
No.
This is not a joke, by the way. Like, did you know that women, especially rugged men?
No. What are you talking about?
I know, right? So Sargon posted this on Ghetto. It was just merely asserting one's masculinity is enough to deprogram leftists, and they looked at some threads on Reddit, and one woman wrote, I'm really upset at what is clearly a masculine expression of anger, the loud horns, engines, trucks, the unwashed men sleeping in the trucks. While these men have a certain swagger, I can't see the rest of it, it's been cut off, but one of the girls wrote, yes, we noticed them, but as a queer feminist, I hate to say, but those men look rugged.
Bruh.
I hate to break this to you. I don't actually, it's quite funny. But if you're a queer feminist and you find them attractive, I don't exactly think you're queer. It makes you think you're straight.
Yeah.
What is it about, look at those men with their muscles and unshaven, unkept cells, and I find them so sexually attractive. What is wrong with me? No, nothing, you're normal, actually.
I mean,
this is good
true,
news, actually.
But I think, I don't know, sexuality can be a little, I'll use one of their words.
I swear to God, if you go left on me on this, I'll you.
Just saying. Speaking of the honkening, though, I have some selected tweets. We could go to Reddit if you'd like to have a really fun time.
Oh, God.
Because they're absolutely...
I've never actually been to Reddit.
Huh?
I've never actually been to Reddit.
I've been there a few times. I used to use it when I was at work. I had nothing else to do.
Let me phrase this. I've never gone to Reddit willingly to look up something on Reddit specifically. I've clicked on links and it just was like a Reddit post, for example. Oh, God.
What? The tweets?
The duck?
That's a goose.
It's a goose? Well, I can't really tell. It's blurry and opaque.
Honk. Dude, he doesn't even know what a bruh. Spoon doesn't even know what a goose is.
I know what it is once
for
on a whisk
his
bottle.
lack of avian knowledge.
Listen, the only time I care about a bird is when it's on my plate, cooked, and I can eat it.
Oh.
Other than that, don't crap.
Oh my gosh. Oh, but yeah, the
Honestly,
honkening
yeah,
has
yeah.
been a really hilarious series of events. Now, like, I didn't save a whole bunch of the Reddit posts because there's so many of them. But the
Status update still honking.
there's just so. Is it back up?
Nope.
I'll give it a second.
It seems to be okay now.
Hey guys, did we cut out for a minute, or I don't know? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear again. Google Chrome just crashed for me, so
Again, use SRI, and I don't know why you keep using that
All right, we're back.
aggy Chrome.
I don't know. I guess because I'm used to it.
But Chrome is gay.
It
And
is
SR
clearly.
is better.
Clearly, yeah.
For God's sakes, let me get this stupid thing for you so you can have a browser that isn't.
Yeah, stream died for a minute because Chrome crashed, but there we go. Now we should be back. By the way, it crashed over me trying to pull up this GIF. I'm not even joking. That's what broke it. that was a bridge too far. What was it talking about? The honkening. Where were we at? Oh, the Redditors. I mean, a lot of people have reported that it's scaring their cats and making them shit all over the place, which is, I mean, I feel bad for the animals, but I do. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for the people so much. Oh, they're now planning a counter protest. I have seen that. They are planning some kind of counter protest, and from what I've seen, it entails things like trying to put sugar in the gas tanks and trying to get the trucks towed. That'll work out great. I like how all of their ways of counter-protesting are violent and destruction of property over a peaceful protest. Do you know what I mean? Spin, you there? Oh my god. Sorry guys, this is really fun. It might actually be my computer then, because Discord just crashed now too. Oh my god, this will be the first time that I've had a major tech issue since we started during the show, which is surprising because I'm usually terrible at it. God damn.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that Chrome crashed without telling me anything. Hello, welcome back. It's clearly my computer's issue then, not Chrome. Goddamn. We've been doing alright so far. First 4 weeks not had a huge issue. But it was gonna happen at some point. Sorry guys. Alright, back on topic. The honkening. Let's see. Oh. Oh, I do have some of it, hang on. I said I didn't have the Reddit post. I lied, I do.
Right
Sugar the
downtown,
tanks?
and it's
What the
only
hell does
been
that
getting
mean?
louder as the day's gone on. I'm really getting tired of the constant honking and helicopters circling around my apartment.
I'll just watch this for a minute, I thought.
Fascist
'Cause I probably
Convoy.
can't play this music.
Are you fucking delusional?
Sorry.
Not at all. Just educated.
I saw fuck Trudeau written with
Fascist Convoy, are you fucking delusional? Not at all, just educated. God damn it.
green painter's tape this morning. Like, at least put some effort for God's sake. Spell it right.
Actually, I got a meme about that one. I saw end the tranny hand painted on one side of a pickup truck. They seem to be of the opinion that that was a typo, and I have a picture of the truck too. Oh, come on. There we go. Typo. Here's the truck. And there's the meme. Anywho, the Reddit meltdown has been hilarious.
That everyone else is just going to storm them to make fun of them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's happening.
Like that. I mean, that's obvious. People should know this by now.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a Streisand effect and stuff. Like, when you make it worse like this, you do make it worse on yourself in a way. Speaking of which, there was a really hilarious video.
There's one there that makes absolutely no sense to me.
What?
The one that says, I didn't immigrate to Canada from Iran to have white supremacists protest vaccines under the guise of freedom.
Oh my god.
But that doesn't make any sense. The main thing is to protest the vaccine. Everyone knows this.
Yeah. they don't want to be... Their argument is they don't want to be injected with a chemical substance.
But you're not protesting under the guise of freedom.
Yeah, they don't want to be injected with something against their will. You're trying to take their freedom away. It's pretty obvious. After 2 years of taking their freedoms away in other ways. After constant lockdowns. And we'll get into that because it's not looking great. Well, I mean, it's looking good for the truckers, not for the whiny Redditors. But did you see this, the freak out?
I did not.
Check the stream if you want to. I'm going to just play it.
Right.
It's pretty hilarious.
Oh, if you guys are wondering what this shit is doing to the NPC normies that live down here, check this shit out.
Fucking stuff! Get out of my fucking city! And the thing is, get out of my fucking city! Hey, fuck you! There's a lot. What fucking freedom have you lost? What freedom have you lost?
Yeah, I'll tell you what freedom they've lost, dude. Their right to bodily autonomy. That's what they're protesting. Their right to freedom of assembly, their right to travel freely, their right to go to the freaking store. I mean, to do anything for the last 2 years. They've lost a lot of freedoms.
Tell me a freedom you've lost!
What freedom have they lost?
lost my mind!
Truckers full of people that literally can't go into a fucking store and shop unless they're vaccinated.
Yeah, exactly. They've lost...
You don't think like... what freedom have you lost? My ability to lead my life?
Yeah.
Good day!
You know, for a guy that hasn't slept in 5 days, he's rather awake.
Well, he might have insomnia, I guess, or whatever. he's clearly on edge, I'll put it that way.
Oh, he's lying.
Yeah, he might not even be from there, who knows.
I fucking hear it. It's not even hard. I love you. It's just the diesel engine running. It's enough to drive a fucking person crazy. It is. It is.
Yeah.
But I want it to stop. Hey, Chris. I want it to stop. It has to fucking stop.
Then it stops when the government lifts the mandates.
Yep, there you go. Before wait, it's about to begin. He's about to absolutely... I mean, he's already been losing his mind. But yeah, it stops when the government ends the mandates. That's when it stops.
Fucking idiot! The mandates are provincial, not federal!
Well, then the province can change it too.
The mandates! If you're mad about wearing a mask or getting a fucking vaccine, go talk to Doug Ford!
Okay, well, you know what?
The fucking Prime Minister has nothing to do with this!
Actually, he does.
Yeah, he
Do you
does.
know anything about civics?
Yes, I do, because didn't the federal government make vaccine mandates for all federal employees?
No,
And all federal...
It's a requirement for your fucking job!
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the mandates, man.
Karen! Karen! Well, that's a choice! It's not a choice, you stupid fuck!
The honking wheel...
That's not really much of a choice now, is it? I mean, it is a choice. It's not a very easy one. To say, either take this experimental medicine, and it is experimental by definition, or lose your job, lose your livelihood.
Continue until freedom improves.
Honking will
Simple as that.
I
Simple
like
as
the way
that.
he comes out and he literally says the thing that makes people upset.
Yeah.
It's for your job. Like, yes, that you ask what freedom did you lose? The ability to
work.
go about my job without getting a stupid shot for something that I don't need.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck me. Fuck you. Join us.
I do want to listen.
Yeah, like Sketcher said, he gave away his own argument and he doesn't even know that.
I've lost my fucking patience. We're all peace, guys. We can do it. It's too much.
The honking will continue until freedom improves. I got that footage myself, and that's what your donos are going to, guys. Keeping me here so I can bring you that content.
And if you want to know, it's the ferryman's toll, I guess. I hope this is the original uploader, but that's who I have this linked from. I don't know if this is the original guy. But yeah, honking will continue until freedom improves. So, other things that are going on. Huh?
That was funny.
Yeah, that was great. He's being memed excessively.
By the way, I like the guy just screaming at the end. Just sounds like a video on Kevin Tindall. The honking will continue until freedom resumes. Like, based. Yeah, very good. By the way, that clown in that GIF, that does look like every person who's been awake for the past 5 days.
Yeah.
It's just wired, tiny pupils. Actually, they look like they're stoned.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them might be. So...
Your eyes dilate and you shake. Am I high? If you know where those lyrics are from, you're probably an old rock fan.
I do not.
I don't think. Yeah, you wouldn't know that.
I don't know.
I'm a based Alice in Chains fan.
Oh, sorry.
It's from the song Junkhead.
I don't know, man. I have terrible taste in music.
Yes, you do.
So, yeah, Trudeau moved to secret
agree.
location as Canada protests spark security fears, report says.
I thought he was in hiding because of the coup, not because of he's scared because of Mad Trucker Man.
Well, it's they're conflicting reports. The Independent
of course,
says...
it is.
Obviously, the
be conflicted
Independent...
when you're talking out of your asshole.
Right, exactly. But the Independent says that it's because of security fears. Of course. So
Can we just be real for a moment and just say that everyone knows he is hiding because he's a scared little bitch because of the coup?
Well, yeah.
There's not a single soul who, well, not a sane one anyway, who actually believes this man is the coup. This man has been like 2 vaccine boosted.
Yeah. And then he
and he tested negative. So where did you get the coup from? I know he's in isolation. Why?
I don't know. Unless the Independent is correct and he's in hiding because
Yeah, like Sebastian says, if he were hiding from the coup, he could still be doing the remote media stuff. He's been doing it for months, yeah.
Right. Well, it might be, the security concerns might be because he called the trucker protest an insult to the truth. And specifically, he did what they keep doing. Mr. Trudeau said on Twitter, freedom of expression and assembly and association or... No, this is in his speech, this was not his tweet. Yeah, freedom of expression, assembly, and association are cornerstones of democracy, but Nazi symbolism, racist imagery, and desecration of war memorials are not.
Hasn't the Nazi flags been debunked as fake?
I mean, the truckers are denying it.
Because I heard that it would I heard that it was photoshopped.
Look, they're saying they found some Nazi flags somewhere, but the truckers
I haven't seen. No, but here's the thing: you could easily protest the state as a Nazi, and you use a Nazi flag for that.
Well, it doesn't really. Okay, but it doesn't really matter. Even if there is a Nazi flag, you can't. Look, this has now become a well-known tactic. If you want to discredit something, you show up as someone who is against the protest with a Nazi flag, and then go, look, a Nazi flag. As far as I know, though, the truckers have been very adamant, like, no, we're not Nazis, as the freaking PM is claiming, we're not Nazis. We're here fighting for freedom and liberty, not for fascism.
Yeah. There's nothing quite says I oppose the government like fascism.
Yeah, for real. Also, sorry if my voice starts to die, guys. I'm down with the cold, I can tell it. Someone in my family has it, so...
Drink more whiskey.
You know what? I could have a snort of whiskey. But, I'm just having some 7-Up right now.
She's gonna have only a little bit, because if she drinks enough of that whiskey, she'll be drunk really fast, because it's not an introduction to whiskey.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
I'll kick your teeth in whiskey.
It is for real some intense stuff. One sec.
53%. They'll fight you. Or they'll gentle wrestle you.
Okay. that made it sound way gayer, by the way.
Or gently wrestle you?
Yeah.
It's like being hugged by a Hercules, but he's dressed in like the Cookie Monster outfit.
Now it's even more gay. I don't know where you're going
gay,
with
it's
this.
only furry like, but it's very strong, but it isn't aggressive. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Don't drink it all at once. No, I will kill her if she drinks it all at once.
She'll
be in hospital if she tries.
Oh no! First of all, it was 75 pounds, so I'm not. No way. I might have a snort of it though in a minute.
Yeah.
One sec. Oh, hey, thank you. Hey, thank you. Anywho, what do we have next? Oh, speaking of, so Trudeau goes into hiding. I'm sure he hid very, very well, except for he clearly didn't because it took all of about an hour for 4chan to find him.
That wasn't actually the location.
Was it not?
No, Sargon said.
Oh,
that's
really?
Not the location,
Oh, I have
4chan.
fake
Not the
news.
location. Yeah. I
Fake
just like the
news?
chat right now. What do you mean? Someone just gentle wrestling is not gay. Gay men wrestle very, very, very aggressively. So by that logic, gay men cannot cuddle.
Oh no, I think men can cuddle in a non-gay way in the ring.
Can they?
You know, sweaty and oily on the hard ground. That's an old Dragon Ball Z abridged reference. I might have some near the end of the stream. Maybe I'll have some whiskey, but not
Pick
right
up
now.
your shirts and
So
rest
I didn't know
whiskey.
this was fake news.
I've never had that whiskey and felt the need to be shirtless.
I don't. Where is
I
this
felt
going?
the need to make unusual noise. I have no idea, but
What is happening?
I've had the whiskey and felt a compulsive need to make unusual noises.
What?
I did them when I was talking to you and I had a sip of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It is really good whiskey. It fills me with all kinds of funny feelings. Mainly warm.
I'm not helping this gay argument.
Yeah.
Other things are happening in Canada.
You are
though.
actually gay. Shut up. You.
I know, only a little bit, only half. So, today, trucker rallies are being held at many locations across the country, including Parliament Hill in Ottawa and various communities in Saskatchewan. Here's my message to Saskatchewan and Canadian truckers. This is, he calls for an end of cross-border trucker vaccine mandate with proof of testing. So, it looks like, this is Premier Scott Moe. I want to start with a clear and simple message to every Saskatchewan and Canadian trucker, farmer, and individual that has contributed to keeping our communities operating over the last 2 years. Thank you. Thank you for delivering food, household products that we use every day, the parts and equipment that keep our farms and industries running, every other kind of good and product you can imagine. If you bought something today, a trucker delivered it, so thank you. You also deserve a special thank you for everything you have done over the last 2 years since the start of COVID-19. That's something that's really actually important. And I think that this has been a fantastic protest because it shows really the power that regular people do have, and particularly truckers. Because these people in these cities, they can't survive without truckers.
No.
At all. As has been overwhelmingly evident.
Also, and if all else fails, get horns.
Yeah, but I
And
mean,
just annoy the shit out of everyone.
it's more than just annoying the shit though out of people. I mean, if it got really bad, they could disrupt the supply chain.
Yes.
And just say no, I won't. I won't give in. I won't capitulate to your tyranny.
Yeah. You have to do as I say, or else you won't get food.
Yeah, we asked truckers to do this because we needed you, and we rely on you. And what did you do? Truckers stepped up and kept hauling. They crossed provincial borders, and they crossed the U.S. border. You did this prior to rapid tests, prior to early intervention treatments. Sorry, Freudian slip. And prior to vaccines. You took the necessary precautions. You kept yourselves and those around you safe. You delivered the things the people in Saskatchewan needed to live. And I want to be clear on how I feel about vaccines. I am fully vaccinated with my booster shot. This did not prevent me from recently contracting COVID-19. Huh.
I wonder why.
Working out great. But I believe it did keep me from becoming sick. In fact, I really had no symptoms at all other than cabin fever from being stuck in my house for several days. I'll get into that. My experience was similar to many other vaccinated people. Vaccination does not keep you from contracting COVID-19. Am I allowed to say that? This is an official letter from Premier Scott. I know that we should be allowed to say that at this point because that is the official narrative, but you never freaking know, right?
Yeah.
This is
That.
what? Sorry.
Well, the CDC came out and said this months ago.
I know, but you never know.
And then I cheered to this guy and said, "I told you so" for like 5 hours, and then running around
Right.
screaming like a headless chicken because
Right.
I knew I was right. Hell, does everyone think this thing was somehow going to stop you from getting COVID? For God's sakes, the flu vaccine doesn't stop you from getting that, and that's been around for ages. So how the hell did you think this was going to... But then again, I was called a crazy madman because I said the face nappy is doing fuck all. And then again,
That's now official too.
Yeah.
What,
everything that I said, by the way, in the last 3 years has come true. Every single damn thing. Because I'm a genius.
Well, it doesn't act...
Or I have common sense.
Again, you don't have to actually be a genius. I'm not disputing your claim, but
You really should, by the way. That shows that you have that credibility.
but the reality is that we looked at these data 2 years ago. I did at least, and went the extant data that were available 2 years ago, and went, I don't think so. You don't have any proof that cloth masks work in this way that you're claiming. And that was, can't say that. Oh, no, you can't say that. Oh, that's fake
I just
news.
didn't when I saw people on the news just like, here's how you can use a repurposed sock, and then they cut like a sock in half
yeah, I
and
remember
stuff in their
that.
face. And I was thinking like, if you think this is legitimate, this is somehow going to stop a poxy virus, you're an idiot, and anyone who believes this and who actually does this, you shouldn't be in society. You should be in a, I don't know,
Don't say something.
padded cell somewhere, because
All right.
lunacy.
I thought you were gonna say ditch, and I was gonna be like, don't say that.
No, I don't want to kill the people.
No,
but
I
just
know.
put them
That's
in a way
the
that they
difference,
can't harm
right?
people.
Like, I don't want to harm these people. I just think that they're silly, and they're, it's funny because they think we're misinformed idiots, and that's like, well, I went and read this stuff, but I understand not everyone has the capacity to do that. It does take a lot of time and effort.
They can call me misinformed, but I haven't been wrong about anything, so
Yeah, but-
they can say what they want. Reality is that they're gay and stupid, and I'm right.
The people on these Reddits, though, they're talking about, like, I mean, and they've been saying this for forever, the max vax kind of people. And I don't have anything against people who've taken the vaccines, obviously, or who wore the masks or whatever. It's the people
do.
who are like, I want to put you in a camp because you refuse to comply. That's the stuff where
Yeah,
I
they're called
get,
politicians.
yeah, that's where I have an issue. And that's where that guy who was freaking out, what freedoms have you lost? A lot of them. A lot of them. The bodily autonomy is one of them, and I find it astonishing that it's a lot of people on the left, predominantly people on the left, who are enforcing this, who I think are probably, just a guess, but also predominantly pro-choice, right? I am not pro-choice, personally. I mean, I kind of am. I'm up in the...
You're begrudgingly pro-choice.
Begrudgingly only because there can be extenuating circumstances, but I hate the act, right?
You're not pro-abortion, which, like I've said, I don't think
Right.
the pro-choice side actually exists anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry, we were kind of zoomed out.
By the way,
Twitter
the
makes
place
it
Saskatchewan.
possible.
By the way, the place Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
That sounds like the world's most fanciest dessert.
So you've never heard of Saskatchewan?
I'd like to have the Saskatchewan, please. That sounds really fancy. Sounds like some fancy truffle. I don't know why. It makes me hungry.
God damn it, dude. My experience was similar to many other vaccinated people. Vaccination does not... Sorry for the flashing there. I was trying to zoom in on Twitter. I forgot you can't do that. Vaccination does not keep you from contracting COVID-19. It does prevent most people from becoming seriously ill. That is why we will continue to encourage everyone to get vaccinated, because I do not want any of you to become seriously ill. That said, because vaccination is not reducing transmission, the current federal border policy for truckers makes no sense. An unvaccinated trucker does not pose any greater risk of transmission than a vaccinated trucker. However, the current federal policy does pose a significant risk to Canada's economy and to the supply chain in our Saskatchewan communities, where you and I live. This federal policy will increase the cost of living, which is now rising at a rate that is creating significant hardships for many Canadians. That is why my government supports your call to end the cross-border ban on unvaccinated truckers, and it is why, in the not-too-distant future, our government will be ending our proof of negative test/proof of vaccination policy in Saskatchewan. So it's working, at least a little bit. This is the premier of Saskatchewan, I guess. I don't know anything about Canadian politics. I'm sorry.
I saw a whole bunch of, I did see a whole bunch of things got dropped. Mm-hmm. And when people say it isn't because of the truckers, that lets you know it is about the truckers. Like that's a dead giveaway.
Oh,
We've been tyrannizing the shit out of people for 2 years straight, but all of a sudden now we're going to stop. And it has nothing to do with the thousands of people marching towards the city in giant trucks and honking and pissing off everyone. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Who the hell do you think you're fooling? It's just stupid.
Here's what I wanted. Sorry.
An insult to truth.
Yeah, Alberta may lift COVID-19 health measures this month. Alberta will look at easing public health restrictions later this month if the province sees a sustained decline in COVID-19 hospitalizations. I don't like that if. I don't like that if. It's
no, that's just what they're saying. They're going to do it anyway.
I think so. Because that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Of course, which was...
We have all of the food, and you don't have anything.
Yeah,
Give
what
us
are you
what
gonna
we
do?
want, or
What
we'll
are you gonna do?
starve you to death.
Right, where was this? Where did I put it?
Oh my god, when I see someone wearing that fucking thing and a mask, my mind just goes, oh god, you're just... I want to say words I can't say on here.
But
Game Wars.
he wants to say a gamer word. Don't say a gamer word. But here it is. National Post. Health officials are hinting at ending COVID restrictions. And it's not because of the truckers. Oh my god.
Yeah, sure it isn't.
Sure, it's not because of the truckers. I believe you. While viruses such as smallpox and polio can be stamped out through aggressive vaccination,
No,
COVID-19
I
is
don't
simply
believe
too infectious to be eliminated entirely.
That's the word I want to say.
What?
Well, it's written in the chat. I want to say that word in almost every video that I make these days. To describe every politician that I talk with.
And Furious Dan asked a good question. Hospitalizations with or because of COVID? That's been an issue the whole time. Also, hi, Artemis Worm. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, thanks everybody for stopping by.
You're breaking your PC with a new Linux install? Why?
Me? What?
No, Artemis. I'm wondering why he's installing Linux.
Oh, I missed that part. Well, it depends. Linux, I should probably install Linux because I'm having freaking issues all the time. But I haven't run a computer with Linux on it in 15 years. It's almost been that long, hasn't it? Anyway.
You run a system with Linux, to be honest?
What?
I could probably run a system with Linux, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a nice way to optimize speed on your computer. The overarching goal of the Freedom Convoy 2022 was for the federal government to declare the immediate lifting of all COVID-19 mandates across Canada. It was at root a politically unrealistic demand. Really? UK just dropped them? Given that the mandates were imposed at a provincial level. But still, okay. If you're protesting in Ottawa, it's going to put pressure on the governments all across the country to do so. Because if one province drops them, every province will probably drop them, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, why they have mandates or don't have mandates and we still do? Yeah, it's going to piss people off.
Yeah.
Dominoes will fall, yeah.
You know, there's a question I guess I should ask you real quick. Do you think, because I saw this being thrown around as, do you think that the UK will bring back restrictions, like they'll wait, because now winter is ending, you know, we're coming out of winter, and, you know, rates, although in the historical trends for both seasonal flus and COVID, it always gets worse in January. So are they going to drop these in January? We're going to see an increase in hospitalizations because that is the natural trend for viruses, is that they go up in January and early February. No. My only fear is it'll be like, well, look, the hospitalization rates went up again, because they always do at this time of year.
No.
I think Boris knows better, because it's his career is on the line.
Yeah, it's political suicide at this point. Like, there's no way in fucking hell people are gonna do it again.
Yeah. We have let our lives be controlled for the last 2 years. It's a significant amount of fear. Now we're going to have to change some of that thinking. Ontario's top doctor, Kieran Moore, said in a public address last Thursday. Moore added, "We can't eliminate this threat. In fact, we have to learn to live with it. We've been telling you that for 2 years."
Yeah.
And
why
doctors...
now, you bunch of...
Sorry, what?
No, I'm just yelling to myself.
I'm sorry.
Because everything these shitheads are fucking saying.
Yeah.
So they've just wasted 2 years of everyone's life.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did. And I'll get into some of this later, but
you know what's done to Mussolini?
What?
I said there's a reason that I just used it as a reference and I didn't outright say what happened to him.
Ah.
Yeah, do that to all of these people.
I think they're starting to get a little afraid of that kind of stuff happening. Yeah.
I would hope so. That's kind of the point.
That is the point. the
and
point
then
is
we
that the
could use it
government
to usher in monarchy.
the point is that the government should be held responsible. Oh, sorry, it is top chat, Rat King. Let me change it to live chat though. I didn't mean to set it that way. I don't even know what top chat. I don't know the point of it. I don't really get it. Anyway, some flu
Timon
season.
says he knows what it is. Yeah.
I think it's just like it prioritizes some people, and I have no idea what the point of that is.
No, I mean with Mussolini.
Oh yeah.
A rope and the side of a building. Mm-hmm. There we go. Yeah, now you know.
Some flu seasons are worse than.
Try that.
Yeah. Well, I think I mean, it's in the words of the late great Trevor Moore. Maybe, just maybe, it's time for guillotines, or we could just do a nice peaceful protest. And I like the nice peaceful protest, and the honking will continue until freedom prevails. Some flu seasons are worse.
What did he say in the video? Martin Luther King and Gandhi can both suck a dick.
Yeah, Martin Luther King and Gandhi both can go suck a dick. I got the beat off, but yeah. Some flu seasons are worse than others. We know this impact on our healthcare system, and yes, it does make a number of people sick, unfortunately, and yes, unfortunately, some people do lose their lives to it. Things we have been saying the whole time.
Yep.
She said, adding, Canadians must nevertheless find ways of balancing other activities and life along with control measures. We have been telling you this for 2 years.
Yep.
For 2 freaking years. You can't eliminate this, a coronavirus like this.
This is how you know everything that they're saying right now has nothing to do with them actually
Science?
following the science. It's purely politics.
Oh, it is. It's always been politics.
Yes.
Because again, we could have told you this. You know, my next video is on the ending of the COVID stuff and the long-term effects that it's gonna.
Can you say that?
Huh?
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a part of it, which we could get to. I mean, we're kind of translating out of this. Where was I at with the? We're mostly over with the. I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. 2 more things with Canada, and then we'll move on.
Wait, folks, if you have to wear a mask in a gym, that's just fucking insane.
It's been the way the whole time. There was
What?
If anyone in chat can remind me, do you remember these guys came on, the owners of this gym, I think in New Jersey. They kept. Do you remember that, Spoon? Where they kept open?
The way they kept open is they said that the gym is a facility that runs the state's election.
And they try to put huge fines on them.
Yeah. And they're registered as a building for like election procedures, and they were able to circumvent the rules.
They tried
Which
to
is pretty
fine them
funny.
a huge amount of money. I think it was in Jersey.
Yeah, they broke into their own gym. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. $1.2 million at Tillis Gym for defying lockdown orders. Are staying open as a FU to government Phil Murphy.
None. And how many people died from that? None.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that guy went on Timcast. I think he was really. He's got a free here. Look at this dude. He's got like a super epic beard. Here for the New York Post. I'll bring up the video here for a second. Jeez. Look at this dude. The hell? Get out here, freaking ad. Look at this dude. His beard is massive. So are his balls for staying open. Good for him, man.
Yeah, that's a little beard. Well done.
60 citations, despite not having a single infection linked to the business. After more than 83,000 visits in that time, one of the co-owners, Ian Smith,
Holy
told Fox
shit.
News. Yep.
That
One
should tell
point-
you something.
Hmm?
That should tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you have a freaking gym where people touch the weights and are sweating on each other constantly, and still no one caught it even once.
Yeah.
Like, if that doesn't show you that the coup is a bunch of overblown bullshit, I don't know what will.
Well, exactly. If it's, yeah, what... I mean, it certainly seems to be indicative to me that there's some issue. That it's...
Wow,
it's...
no shit.
I know. Where are we at next? A couple more things on Canada. Oh, right. Okay, so... Back to Canada real quick. Normally I would never talk about Canada this much, but I'm really impressed with the Leaves. For the first time ever. Aaron O'Toole ousted as Conservative leader after caucus revolt. So Aaron O'Toole is no longer the leader of the Conservative Party. In a secret ballot vote Wednesday morning, so this morning, Conservative MPs chose to oust their leader after just 17 months after one failed election at the helm. After a marathon caucus meeting where O'Toole made an 11th-hour pitch to keep his job, 73 MPs voted to launch a leadership race with 45 votes voting to keep O'Toole on. The definitive vote was forced by 35 MPs unhappy with O'Toole's leadership over the last year's disappointing election results. But the root of the anger goes back much further. O'Toole won the leadership claiming to be a true blue conservative, a contrast to Peter MacKay, who despite holding senior cabinet roles in Stephen Harper's government, was labelled by O'Toole's campaign as a red Tory. Yet once the leadership was secured, O'Toole took the party in a different direction. After pledging to scrap the Liberals' carbon levy, O'Toole promised a version of his own, which he steadfastly denied was a tax, despite it applying a surcharge on purchases like gas. Freaking rhinos, dude. O'Toole's election platform promised roughly $100 billion in new spending over 10 years, equivalent to what Liberal government was pledging, which rankled fiscal hawks within the government. Conservative MPs went along with O'Toole's perceived pivot to the political center, became even more frustrated after the approach failed. O'Toole made a few changes to close-knit groups of advisors after the election, and caucus meetings grew more fractious, including a difficult meeting in late December. An election post-mortem conducted by former MP James Cumming did little to quell the caucus discontent. After the vote, John Williamson, a veteran New Brunswick MP and former journalist, immediately tossed his name in the hat to serve as the party's interim leader. I will respect my caucus colleagues. I will listen to our movement. Williamson wrote in a statement posted to social media, I know how to keep us united around things that mattered most to us as conservatives. So, fascinating.
Why democracy is gay.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, but hang on a minute, Spoon, let's be fair. Democracy worked this time. Sort of. They got rid of him.
Yeah, only because it failed before.
Did you see this? I didn't even have this up, but there was the other day, it must have been in this same the other day there was a meeting also as to whether or not in the to see if blackface should be banned or should be considered like a crime or something like that, I think. Let me find the exact thing.
Oh my god, Trudeau.
No, wait. Oh, hang on. Did you not hear this story? Oh my god. Did you... You will... The results will shock you.
Will it really, though?
No, it's actually really funny. It's just from, like, yesterday. It's really new. Why can't I find this? Oh, I can't find it now. It was in Parliament. They took a vote on it. I don't know why I can't find this. They took a vote on this just like yesterday or something. And the Conservatives were the ones who were saying they wanted to punish people wearing blackface. And it was the Liberals who voted nay on it.
Oh, that's not a surprise.
Well, yeah, because because then their PM would get in trouble. RLF says if they...
the leaders would be in trouble if they fucking did it.
I know. RLF, yeah, they refused to condemn blackface, but they condemned the truckers for a bunch of made-up BS. Yeah, thank you, Furious Dan. Yeah, I can't find the news article, and it was to condemn blackface, and the Liberals were like, nah, we can't do that. And RLF says if they ban blackface, how else am I supposed to celebrate February? I don't know, man. Blackface is only blackface if you're not liberal, says Sebastian Planty. Yeah.
How do you celebrate February with a coned?
Bruh. One last thing. So O'Toole is out. I mean, good. Get rid of.
Was that too rare?
No, it's fine. You're allowed to be a little spicy. Here's an Ottawa here's an Ottawa poll, from CTV News Ottawa. And this is it time for the trucker protest to end? 74% say no. So for all the crying on Reddit, do you support the truckers' convoy in Ottawa? 78 say yes. 78%.
Whoa, that's really high.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So for all the crying on Reddit, 78% of people in Ottawa, or at least people who answered this poll, now it could have been messed with by 4chan or whatever, but 78% of people who answered this poll said they do support it. Just something to keep in mind.
That's not a surprise, though.
No. I mean, it probably is to the people screaming about it, again, on Reddit.
Yeah, but the people on Reddit are not people. They're basically cretins. Yes, I just insulted every Reddit user. I don't care.
Let's pivot on that note.
The people on 4chan are more human than the people on Reddit.
Reddit, like, its entire, way of running is just it's maximum groupthink.
Yeah, that's why it's gay.
Yeah, I know. Let me see if this works real quick. Hang on.
We're monarchists, Aiden. We don't like groupthink.
I know.
We hate groupthink.
I know. But my Streamlabs is still not working even after I talked to PayPal about it. Thanks, guys. That's great. Thank you, PayPal. Thank you, PayPal. I'm very happy about that. Even if I spent an hour on the phone with you. Very happy about that last week. Oh, well, that's still not working.
It's funny you have problems with them because so do I.
Yeah, they're mad at me because...
yeah, I just sent my passport photo to the fucking bastard.
Right. So you're gonna have to be the one who sets it up because they're being pissy with me. Yeah, whatever.
Don't worry, I can deal with it. It's fine.
Oh, then Spoon will have to get your money instead of me if anyone wants to do so. But for right now, then this is still just a free and fun stream. Fuck it, we'll do it live, man. Well, I mean, we're just doing this for fun.
That is a Bill O'Reilly reference, by the way.
Yeah, I know. We're just having fun anyway. And thank you guys.
We're doing live.
Thank you guys all for showing up and hanging out with us.
I agree, by the way, that the 4chan definitely incentivizes people being an edgelord.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the UCLA guy you want to read, how much of that can you actually read?
I'm not reading any of it on stream. We'll get to that. Let's do Whoopi first.
Oh, really? Can I read something?
If you can go ahead, as long as you read my favorite line. Actually, I'll read my favorite line. I sent it to you earlier. Let me find it.
My favorite line is a gratuitous amount of N-words and K-words.
Okay. We'll get... All right, should we go to that first then, since we've pivoted there? We'll do Whoopi later. What? I mean, I don't know what to... All right, we'll do Whoopi in a minute. We'll
go Whoopi first, because Whoopi is less funny than...
She is less funny. Okay. So, and Whoopi's in the friggin' thumbnail. Come on now.
Yeah.
So, Whoopi is suspended from The View after saying the Holocaust isn't about race. Now, this actually is kind of a contentious issue. It really is someone who has been accused of being a Holocaust denier myself, but then again, who the fuck hasn't? So, I mean, really.
I haven't.
Not yet, just you wait.
No, I'm actually derided for being pro-Jew, actually.
Dude, my fucking
else.
only point, the reason why I get called a Holocaust denier is because I was like, more people died than, it's more than just Jews, it was Poles. That's what I was talking about in that freaking video. And I wasn't even talking about the Jews, I was talking about Polish people. But, this is just one of the many examples where people this is a very serious and very sensitive issue, where people, they want to take things, I'm going to be honest, like, out of context intentionally.
I will say something, and let it be known this is something that could get me in trouble. There's a bunch of people who think the Juden run everything. Yeah, no. There's also,
I don't think Whoopi thinks that.
No, I don't think they do. They're overwhelmingly represented.
But that's because they have high-end group. But that's just because they have high-end group homophily.
Yes, but hold on, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
What was I gonna say again?
That there are people who think there's a conspiracy.
Yes, but there's also a bunch of people who think, look who you can't criticize, and that's who runs everything.
I mean, it's not a good look.
The one people that you cannot ever make fun of in any way or in any way criticize is the Juden.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
No, but that is that's kind of the thing that makes many people think,
that's why you do end up with people who have conspiratorial beliefs. Like this shit is not a good look. That's what I mean. It's like not a good look because then you create more conspiratorial beliefs when shit like this happens. Because I don't actually necessarily think Whoopi said anything wrong. Now I think Whoopi is generally kind of an idiot.
An idiot, yes.
All right, but I understand what she was saying here, and we'll play the clip. But just to be clear, the TLDR, U.S. talk show host and actor Whoopi Goldberg has been... By the way, I did not know what her real name was until this happened.
Her real name is white as shit.
It's Karen Osborne.
Yeah, that's white as holy shit.
I know Karen is spelled with a C and a Y, but still, it's Karen Osborne. Is it middle name like Evelyn or something?
Goes on the View, isn't it?
What's her Whoopi Goldberg? What's her real name again? I forget. It's like Karen something. Elaine. Karen Elaine Osborne.
That's white as
That's
shit.
one of the whitest names I've ever
It's like the
heard.
whitest name ever.
And I used to really love Whoopi because I grew up with Star Trek Next Generation, you know, and I like Guinan. And the reason why Whoopi was on Next Gen is because she was a huge fan of Star Trek. She wanted to be in it, and at that point in time, she was super famous comedian. And they were like, yeah, sure, you want to be on our silly sci-fi show, you can absolutely be on it. Yeah. Talk show host and actor Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended from The View for 2 weeks for saying, quote, "The Holocaust isn't about race" on Monday's episode. Her suspension from The View was announced in a statement released by U.S. network ABC News on Tuesday night after Goldberg issued a public apology. Effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. Kim Godwin, president of ABC News, wrote in the statement, "While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities." Whoopi has yet to comment on her suspension as of... Was this today? Yeah, today. So.
You know what that actually means in real speak?
What does it mean in real speak? Translate it for me, Spoon.
In real speak, that means, look, this is just some bullshit right now. We just need to let the heat go off. And
yeah.
Yeah. And they have like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's.
Let's be real. That this is also why I don't particularly comment on things like this, because I know this is just like a hot topic for 2 weeks and then some other bullshit will happen. And yeah, every time. So
I had
the best example I could see of this is when PewDiePie.
Sorry.
So people. You remember when PewDiePie said the N-word on the stream?
Yeah.
On a live stream?
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my god, this is such a bad influence. And I'm just like, idiots. You know what's going to happen from this? Nothing. All of you whinging bunch of F-words. You're going to bitch about this for 2 weeks or like 3 or 5 days. All the people said, I'm going to unsubscribe, I'm not going to watch. His sub count went up because of that.
Yeah.
Nothing happened at all. So this is the thing that bugs me, is people who say, "Oh, I'm gonna stop doing this." No, you're not gonna do shit, you posturizing moral fag. Just shut up. Stop.
No, they'll forget, because it's virtue. It is virtue signaling. You're right. It's virtue signaling, and they won't care about this for after a week. No.
Yes.
Sorry for the I'm gonna play a little bit of The View.
You're apologizing for that.
Well, I'm worried we're gonna get copyright claimed. I put a filter on it, which just makes Whoopi transparent. It'll make many things transparent, which will look weird and scary.
That goes with her name.
Yeah, it'll make her very transparent here. So, just if it looks scary, that's just to try and avoid a little bit of copyright stuff.
Oh, so many jokes I want to say. I can't.
Let's go ahead and hear the thing that got Whoopi canceled, though. All right, I'm gonna play it. And if you want to pull it up on the stream, Spoonies, we need to find a better way to organize that. But I don't know. I haven't figured out the best way. If anyone knows in the chat how to best do that without doing watch together, because for little clips like this, I mean, do you want me to put it in watch together?
Nah, that's all right.
I mean, it's we've both seen it, so would you want to?
Nah, that's all right. Let's play it.
All right.
I'm not sure that they don't use the naked part as a kind of a canard to throw you off from the fact that they don't like history that makes white people.
By the way, just for context, if people aren't aware, this is in the context of talking about the book Mouse, the comic book Mouse. A fantastic comic book that is very clearly a comic book adaptation of the Holocaust. It's a fantastic comic book, and it's being removed from schools. That's the issue. And along with To Kill a Mockingbird. I can't understand why. Now what they're talking about here is they think that it's because there's nudity in it. I don't see why you would remove Mouse from... I don't see why you would remove Mouse and To Kill a Mockingbird. No, To Kill a Mockingbird, it's because of the N-words in it, I guarantee it. But I don't understand why you would remove Mouse from schools. I don't understand what... Again, there's not a good reason to remove Mockingbird either. But from schools... Meanwhile, they're putting in all this critical race crap about how you should be angry and hate yourself for the color of your skin, but we have to get rid of Mouse. I don't understand that. Put in, oh shoot, what's that Magneto book about, the Holocaust? Oh, it's a really good book. Magneto, Testament. Highly recommend that one too. Put Magneto Testament into schools. It's a great book, unironically, but really depressing, and it made me want to commit living. Let's continue.
They look bad.
Well, this is white people doing it to white people.
Yeah.
So this is, y'all go fight amongst yourselves, but don't,
Well, and look at what kids watch these.
So there was the issue. She said it was white people killing white people. Right? So she doesn't care because the Holocaust is white people killing white people.
Days and the music they listen to say that when proving or showing them a work of history or art or something that happened is bad language or nudity.
By the way, I think she's wrong with that. Like,
turn off reality TV, turn off the radio, turn off everything they're doing, because kids are exposed to this stuff really early in inappropriate situations, not ones
I
where
hate
you're
that
learning or teaching.
gross fake leather
and
dress.
Is a drawing of his mom.
That's the you're looking at?
Who died during the Holocaust.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
it
Woman.
mounts, which is the other thing. It's just insane.
But
I don't know what's going on.
It's about the words.
It's about the N-word.
Yes,
The girl is
it's about
triggered.
the
and-
words.
That's it. By the way, that was it. I hope you guys got it. That was the whole bit that she got canceled for. Was that part where she said it was about white people killing other white people? This is it. That was the whole bit. We don't have to play any more of it. That was it. That was the haram action. Because you're gonna have to make the argument now that Jews aren't white, or that this wasn't about race, and that's what she said, right? I think that was the whole thing, though. I think that was all she said that was problematic, quote unquote, right? That was the whole part. Yeah, let's be truthful. The Holocaust isn't about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. There are two groups of white people. Just to reiterate, that's what she said. We just listened to it. We cut it out. Should we replay it? Or I think we got it.
Yeah, and then Ben
Habibo, to use... God damn. Who calls him that?
I have no idea.
Wasn't it Hassan? Somebody calls him Ben Habibo, which sounds way like...
I would pay to see him debate Ben Shapiro.
Oh my gosh, me too. That would be a
my
massacre.
God. He would get fucking destroyed.
Dude, I don't know if you're aware of this.
You would just look at him like, I killed your uncle, I will kill you too.
I don't know if you're aware of this, though. Here's my problem. Here's why I wouldn't suggest Ben Shapiro debating Hassan on anything, but on this or anything else. Because in the United States, we have this thing called the 13th Amendment, which makes it illegal to own other people like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm such a piece of shit. So here afterwards, Whoopi goes on Stephen Colbert, and here's...
I mean, I would think that's a fair trade, considering, you know, his family openly denies the Armenian genocide. So.
Very true, very true, very true. Here's Whoopi on Colbert to describe her statement.
And yes, I am saying slavery is an adequate form of reparations.
And you.
Now, you made some news this morning.
Yes.
On The View.
I did.
When y'all were talking about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And would you care to follow up, clarify what you said this morning?
I don't know
because it confused some people.
It upset a lot of people.
Yes.
Which was never, ever, ever, ever my intention. I thought we were having.
That's probably what made this worse.
Because I feel being black, when we talk about race, it's a very different thing to me. So I said that I felt that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And people got very, very, very angry, and still are angry. I mean, I'm getting, you know, all of the mail from folks, and the very real anger, because people feel very differently. But I thought it was a salient discussion, because as a black person, I think of race as being something that I can see. So I see you, and I know what race you are. And
that's a spicy statement in today's culture, isn't it? To say that you can see race. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's. I think she's correct. That's how, like, the, you know, even though there's been some lots of epigenetic studies that show that, like, the way people can visually identify races align up very well with epigenetics, but That's a spicy statement. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. That's the truth, though, guys. Like, in terms of large haplogroups of people, you can generally determine by looking at somebody if they are broadly African, if they're broadly Caucasian, if they're broadly Asian, if they're broadly South Asian, etc., Native American, etc. You can usually see these differences. It's not super 100%, nowhere near 100% accuracy, but they broadly align. So she is, I guess, correct in that way. And so she's saying that you can't see, I guess, Jews as a race the way that you could probably identify a black person versus a white person and their racial haplogroup difference.
The discussion was about how I
very
felt
American-centric view of it.
It is.
Really
Yeah, well, it is very Americentric, isn't it?
more about man's
Yeah, I'm not expecting Americans to understand that.
horrible people can be to people, and we're seeing
Yeah, Americans are not exactly known for, hot takes on foreign issues. There's a reason for that. It's because they put their foot in their fucking mouth all the bloody time.
True.
But people were very
Says me who comments on American politics.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you predominantly comment on American politics?
Yeah, but I make more sense than they do, so.
Yeah, true.
I've had many people give me shit for that. Say like, oh, Spoon, you don't even live here. Why the hell are you coming on our politics?
Am I saying race is real? I'm saying that there are genetic markers, that indicate that there are differences between broadly speaking racial groups, and that we can, when people look, I'm not going to get in this. I don't know the studies in front of me, but they're not hard to find. Well, actually, they are kind of hard to find at this point because people don't want to see them because they upset people. But you can tell by looking at somebody, as Whoopi's saying here correctly, actually, broadly speaking, if they're of African descent. If they're of Aboriginal Australian descent, even though they both have darker skin. If they're of East Asian or South Asian or Caucasian or Native American descent. You can tell these things. People can see them, and they do broadly align with genetic haplogroup differences. Not 100%, not even close, baby, but there is alignment there. People can see this stuff. She's right on that one.
And I understand. I felt differently. I respect everything everyone is saying to me, and I don't want to fake apologize.
Someone in the chat said, someone yelled at me the phrase epistemic hubris. I don't even know what the fuck that means. No, someone in the chat, I don't know where, a comment or someone said something about my, who was it? Oh, it was some jackass in one of the Discord channels who said that I suffer from epistemic hubris. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Chris Dreyer, did Lotus Eaters bring up the ADL thing? Because it's next on my list of things to bring up. So we're gonna. Oh well, sorry if you've already seen it, but if you haven't already seen it, we're gonna talk about what the ADL did after this. I think though, we got the big gist of what Whoopi's saying, and I don't want to play much more of this because this is copyrighted stuff, and it's what gotten us in trouble before. I put the honking back on here for a second. Whoops, let me turn my thingy off. Whoop. So, what do you think about Whoopi's statements overall?
What's my take on it?
Yeah, do you think she's wrong?
No, I just
it was the Holocaust about race, or yeah, I think she's ineloquent in stating that.
No, there's definitely some elements of race involved in the overall thing, but
sure.
I think for Hitler, it was definitely more, at least in my opinion, from what I've read, I think it was more cultural than anything
Culture,
else.
Ethnicity, it's a bunch of things. Again,
yeah.
Religion.
But definitely culture is.
Religion can be ethnic, but it can also just be group based. There are white people who had different religious beliefs from Hitler, and he atheists, for example, and he genocided them too. Even though, whether or not Hitler was a...
Wouldn't exactly call him Christian.
Well, that's a bit of a misnomer. He was raised Catholic, but the esoteric Hitlerism and stuff. But whatever. The point is, Roma people, gypsies, whatever the word is you want to use, Slavs. Slavs. Sorry?
V's.
Mate.
No offense to V, I like V's.
I like V. But it was both racial and non-racial. It was about the Untermensch, right? And Untermensch can mean a lot of different things. what was it race? Partially. But then again, Hitler had a lot of respect for the Japanese, right? Honorary Aryans. So I think Whoopi's partially correct. And I don't understand why she's being pilloried for this to the degree, but I guess I don't get it. I really don't. I don't think that, like, she actually said anything that was insane by saying that the Holocaust was not entirely about race. The exact wording she said, just to bring it back up, is she said it was like hatred of, yes, inhumanity. It's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. I think she's correct. I think that's a completely correct statement to describe the Holocaust. It was about man's inhumanity to man. I usually don't agree with Whoopi on anything. Like, she's often stoopy, but I think she's right on this. I think it was more broad and more general than just race and just ethnicity. It was about man's inhumanity to man.
Yeah, but I think if you put it in, God, my voice has pissed me off. I think if you put it in context like that, it kind of downplays Hitler's feelings towards the Jews.
Oh, well, okay. I don't want to get into that. We will get in trouble for that one. There were reasons why Hitler hated the Jews that made sense to him.
Just not very good ones.
That made sense in his perspective, right?
Yes, they were subverting the Jewish or the German culture.
They were engaging in quote usury, right? And particularly under Weimar, when Germany had been, let's just be honest, embarrassed on the international stage after the Treaty of Versailles.
Yeah,
and
you know who we blame for that? Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, blame Woodrow Wilson. Don't blame the Jews for that one. Blame Woodrow Wilson for that. So he was looking for someone to scapegoat, and saw that the Jews were
stab in the back myth.
And saw that the Jews were faring better in Weimar Germany than were the native Germans. And by that I mean the ethnic Germans, right? Jews obviously had lived there for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So sorry, by native I should mean ethnic Germans. But and thing is, she's talking about this in the context of book banning. Thank you, Kylie Blue. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, I think she's actually mostly correct. Like to translate down everything that happened in the Holocaust as just a racial issue is myopic, I would say.
Short-sighted.
Yeah, and I didn't know that Lucy brought this up, but I will bring it up here. Is that the ADL has changed its definition of racism in response to this?
I mean,
the Anti-Defamation League has changed its definition of racism in response to Whoopi getting in trouble. This was the definition of racism beforehand. The marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. Now it is racism, interim definition. Racism occurs when individuals or institutions show more favorable evaluation or treatment of an individual or group based on race or ethnicity. Professor Robert Livingston, The Conversation. For more about this definition, click here. Now, people are saying that this isn't real. I did go and check this. We'll go here to the ADL. So, now, when I go to ADL and you search keywords racism, you'll see it still says, fuck off. It still says racism is the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. Still have white people in here. But when I go to the page, it's the new definition. Racism occurs when individuals or institutions show more favorable evaluation or treatment of an individual or group based on race or ethnicity. By the way, this is a preferable definition. This is actually what racism is, by the way. But the ADL has changed their definition based on Whoopi Goldberg. They were all on board with saying that racism was only something that white people could do until Whoopi Goldberg.
Ever, by the way.
Until Whoopi Goldberg said that white people could be racist against other people who look white.
Yeah.
What the heck? I don't get that one. That one, that really activates my almonds, dude.
Previous thing I told you about, over who controls who. Yeah, that's things like that.
Yeah, and by the way, I agree, Timid Falco Knight. The second definition is better.
Yeah, the first one was kind of...
The first one is just saying that only white people can be racist. And now they've...
again, fucking stupid.
I guess thank you, Whoopi Goldberg?
Thank you for insulting the Juden.
Kaylee Blue says they've changed it, before that, they changed it like 3 times in the last month. Wow, really? I'm not shocked.
Last month? Jeez, what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know, man. But this is bizarre. I don't actually think Whoopi Goldberg did anything wrong. What do you think?
I
think
she's not very good with the words.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, she worded it. I don't even know how poorly she worded it. The reaction, though, has been bizarre. Speaking of reactions, though. Speaking of reactions, though. And anti-Semitism. Would you like to move on to the UCLA professor? Because I sure would.
So this guy, just for people who don't know, this guy, I don't know if he's still teaching it.
He's not.
UCLA professor.
I'll play this little clip here of this guy from Tony Cabrera, or whoever this guy is on...
Well, the man under arrest suspected of making those violent threats against UCLA was a lecturer there and only left just last year.
No, just the
this is
newsreader.
Not the first time he's been accused of threatening violence. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Haskell has the story.
They tell their own professor they have a problem. It seems like a setup to try to make you feel destabilized.
A frightening 24 hours for UCLA students and faculty after a former lecturer released an 800-page manifesto, sent a threatening email to his philosophy students, and posted disturbing videos.
We just barely came back in person yesterday, and it was like, wow, really? Now we have to delay things again because that's pretty scary.
Pretty scary, you know, because I feel like you think about mass shootings like when you're in high school, especially because I feel like that's where they occur a lot, and with online...
Okay, I don't really care anymore. We're gonna read about the rest of it. So, I don't care about hearing college students and what they have to say, because it's mostly worthless. I mean, I guess they were threatened, I guess, here. But Colorado law enforcement has confirmed that the person who made the threats of a possible shooting at UCLA is now in custody. According to UCLA, law enforcement from out of state have confirmed the person who made the threats is under observation and not in California. UCLA announced all classes Tuesday will be held remotely after threats were made towards members of the university's philosophy department by a former postdoctoral fellow. Students say Matthew Harris, who is also a former lecturer, sent an email to his former philosophy department threatening to hurt faculty and staff. However, it is unknown if the person in custody is Harris. Harris posted hundreds of videos online. I have the archive. Monday, including one showing video of the mass shooting in Vegas and the massacre of Columbine High School. Students who had Harris as a professor said the trouble began last year and exploded Monday as news of his latest threats spread on social media. I've been scared about this guy, for about a year since my girlfriend told me about the stories, how he treated their class, but also threats he made after he got put on leave, student Nathan Roberts said. This is a developing story. So, I know I shouldn't laugh. Like, this sounds really scary. Like, people listening are probably like, why the fuck are you laughing, Aiden?
It's funny.
Because this guy's 800-page manifesto. What was the quote I gave you about it? It was something about...
I don't think I could read it on this.
No, we can't read it. No.
How can we describe this? You guys know if you would say no, this is worse than like in Minecraft.
It's way worse than we can't read. Like I wish the quote I pulled from Cole said.
If you listen to like any rap albums, it's like that on steroids.
I'll describe it a little bit, but one of the I can't. The description I read of it was, he writes like Max Stirner and Nietzsche morphed into a black Israelite, then proceeded to huff paint and lick toads until it gave him Terry Davis-style schizophrenia. Now...
Base description, actually.
It's a good description. Again, it's 800 pages. I've read it, and I have it up. And I would say, however, that...
You didn't read all of it.
I've not read all of it. I've skimmed through it. But to be fair, 800 pages of it is the same 2 pages or 3 pages posted over and over and over and over again. It's true schizophrenia hours, okay? Like, I'll pull it up here. And the thing is,
show it on screen?
No, I'm not gonna show it on screen. I'm gonna pull up my private tab. But actually, I mean, I guess I could show just to scroll through like the parts where there's 200 pages where it's like just the same lines over and over and over and over. Yeah, here, look. I'll do this really quick,
okay.
really quick.
Here's an example. This guy uses the N-word the way that a Valley Girl says the word like.
Oh, it's worse. Just real quick, I'm just gonna be up here on the screen for 1 second. Do you see this? It's the same thing. Okay, it finally changes. Now we're done. I can't show that shit on YouTube, guys. It's insane. It's... Now, an 800-page manifesto.
How much for Spoon to read it?
How much do you... Well, there are some things...
If you want to pay me to read it off the screen, then yeah, I will.
Yeah,
But
well, I
can't
mean,
read it
like...
on-
There's just...
I
we'll
would
get
get
taken
my
down.
channel banned.
I will read my favorite line. So, to be clear, just to put it into context, like, what's happening here. 800 pages, the N-word...
Shit.
What?
Need context for this shit.
Yeah, just to be clear, though, 800 pages, the N-word occurs over 10,000 times.
That's not an exaggeration, by the way.
No. It's like 10,400 times. I wish I could, like, post it even in like, the, like, description. But, yeah, I'm not sure if you want to read it, but if you want to read it, it's out there. I've got it. It's schizophrenic. There's no other way
This is the kind of guy that would make Uncle Ruckus say, "I told you so."
I don't even know where... I've read, like, a huge amount of it. Like, he's obsessed with Android 17... Or is it 18? I always forget the two confused. Is it Android 18, the one who's a girl? He's... A lot of it is his, like, critiques of porn. Most of it, however... it's, like, huge amounts of him, like, critiquing pornography.
Can you send me it?
Well, yeah, I can send you the whole document. Here you go. Like, it's unbelievable. It's like, if you've ever read Bronjade's Mindset, it's kind of like that. He writes a little bit like Bronjade's Pervert, where it's very, just freedom of association of thoughts. but with a massive amount of the N-word, the K-word, the C-word for Chinese people. Every racial slur invented occurs at massive levels, in this document. My favorite one, however, I won't read it directly, but it's some parts of it are written in novel format, some parts of it are written in numerical format, but this one and this one page, I don't remember where it is, but...
You know what I've noticed?
Yeah?
The N-word is in full caps every time.
Oh, he's very specific about that. He always writes the N-word in full caps. Yeah. Because he's talking about himself as an ascended human being, and that a type of ascended human being that I've read a lot of this, that he thinks that, like, because he hates African people. He hates Africans.
Yeah.
By the way. Oh my god, like, I wish I could read some of the things that he says, because it's so racist. And it's not just, like, racist against white people or black people. It's racist against everyone. Like, there is not one single race of people he does not hate. He hates absolutely fucking everyone. Like, let's see, Irish. He's got a ton of things to say about the Irish. Let's see, like, that's one you can talk shit about the Irish, right? We're allowed to. Right? Oh my god. I'm saying, like, it's yeah, you, but I mean, like, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, that's a fair thing to do. She looks sloppy drunk, like her features are the wrong size and melting off her face. It's called being Irish. Celine Dion doesn't have that face. She's too Irish-looking noodle face. She looks like she smells bad. Oh my god. Just my last name is the only shit I can tolerate from those disgusting Irish. Again, his name is Harris, so I should never have settled for an Irish bitch.
English.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, You Irish Scottish hoes step on me to climb and pretend you whiter than you are. You Italian Sicilian poop nose climb on me when you wasn't white even a century ago. Your women are the ugliest mix of both races. I just looked at the word Irish in this document, guys. Like, it is the most incomprehensibly racist shit post I have ever seen.
Okay, so if ever I say the K word, it actually means Jews. It says, Jews are poisoning our culture, and rap is basically ground zero for genocide of N-word. K word cannot be allowed to steal the N culture, even though they funded your culture, by the way. Let's see, K rappers are offensive to a N soul that offers a glimpse as to why cultures become anti-Semitic, as if that's a bad thing. Say that on Paul, it's ironically based. Aren't those pale Muslims the infiltrators of the N soul, the infiltrator of their way of living and feeling and a way of defending themselves and their spirits, to step past that boundary and take away a man's feeling of his being and connection to his ancestry? To step in and not give him anything in return, but to steal one of the few things he had is unacceptable. Jews have stepped into N culture to the point where it's more than unacceptable. There is no point being sensitive or outraged or offended. Violence against Jews should happen. Retaliation and retribution for what they have stolen is legitimate and a good thing. And stop sympathizing with Ks. They are trying to genocide you with lies.
This is why I was saying just only try to read the parts that are racist towards whites, because otherwise you can't get away with it. Like, N-word blunt force trauma on Italian family with hate crimes. Kill those furry-knuckled guineas and burn down a Catholic church with a white children's choir inside. His woman has so many hairs on her knuckles she looks like a forest creature. Italians have canine DNA, which is why their women naturally squat like they're taking a shit to deliver their babies. These lower species of white races consist of the Turkish, the K-word, and other Mediterranean mixes of dog blood. It's not funny because it's true. Palestinians are no better than Jews. Don't be stupid. They're just not as successful in performing their vile nature. Dude, the whole 800 pages, guys, is like this. It's incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible. This guy taught philosophy at UCLA.
Yeah. And by the way, the reason I sound like an AI reading this is because I can't read this with any seriousness. Hence why I sound like a robot.
There's no way to read this with... I mean, it's... Yeah. Okay. Is this man schizophrenic? Yes.
Yes. Without a doubt.
There's no way this is not... Does it read like everything ever posted on Poll? Yes.
Yes.
But...
This sounds like a collection of polls, just posts. But it just cranked up.
Dude is a doctor, yes.
This is way worse.
Chris Dreyer, yes, he's a postdoctorate fellow. He has a PhD.
This guy's got a PhD?
Yes.
Ah, his spelling is atrocious.
Well, you could argue that at some point it's intentional, but yeah. It's
You know what is my
freaking believable. What?
I already sound like text-to-speech. Fuck you.
You don't sound like text-to-speech.
The way that I just read that I do, because I didn't read it with any kind of emphasis. Because you can't.
Now you gotta make Spoon defend his accent.
No, I'm aware that I sound like a speak and spell with the way I was reading it just now.
I don't know, Spoon. You could use your real accent.
Fuck you. But the thing is, the way this is written, you cannot... Shut your face, you Welsh.
He's got some shit to say about the Welsh, I think, too, here, by the way.
Oh, does he?
Probably.
Can I just say, I do love it when black people go completely unhinged and mock every other culture, even though they've been subjected by every freaking race on Earth.
Oh, he doesn't have anything to say about the Welsh. Irish pussy half off. Smells bad. They ain't pretty. There's never beautiful Irish or Scots or Irish or Welsh or English. Same shit. They all look ugly. Look at the English royal family. They ugly as fuck. Diana deserved to get murdered because that bitch was a 2 out of 10.
Have you seen black people with the amount of crazy shit they have in their faces? You have no right to call any other ways ugly.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
I'm just reading this. I could try and read this with my reading voice. I would not.
I mean, I don't know.
Going to school for N is like getting nice program compared to other shit, but you are still stuck with someone else telling you what to think, how to breathe, and how what you're doing in this manifesto, sir.
Yeah.
After that shit, N are still stuck keeping their hands down and taking orders. Yeah, like everyone does that.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Ends that the man's system don't escape it as long as they're taking orders from unworthy men. They can't do anything but end but die. Okay, the best thing they can do for N is anyone like they are on the same page is a crime worthy of sticking a metal pipe through his skull. Wow, that's not aggressive at all.
There's dude. Well, okay. The reason why we can't read parts of it outside of the aggressive use of the N-words is that he talks excessively about committing acts of terrorism. I don't know if I can give you guys a link. Like,
he said Black Lives Matter should have been a terrorist group instead of a trendy like hip thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I can give you because I don't know. Okay. If I don't want this new channel to get fucking yeeted. That's the problem. I'm gonna post it in chat for like a minute, and then I'm gonna delete it, okay? And then so get it while you fucking can, okay? Click on that right now. I'm gonna leave it up there for like 2 minutes.
What, the archive link?
Yeah, that's the archive link. Actually, the archive link probably should be fine. For a couple.
Yeah, the archive link you can. Yeah, the archive link you can put up, but that's totally fine.
Okay, there's the archive link. I just don't want to get in trouble for spreading around a terrorist manifesto, but like it's hilarious. It's the funniest terrorist manifesto I've ever read. And I've read a few.
You can read Ted Kaczynski's manifesto.
That's true.
You can read this on YouTube and it'll be fine.
That's true.
I've read it to people. I didn't get in trouble.
That's
then
true.
Then
again, what did Uncle Ted do wrong? Just kidding. That's a meme. He did a couple of things wrong. That's a joke. I'm joking about the whole Ted Kaczynski thing.
The toll count was too low.
Bruh, come on. This is
all right.
Yeah, Rackets was talking about this last night. Because anyone who's looked at this, it's existentially elevating. I have no other way to describe what this. Did he spend hours reading it? Did he actually read the whole thing? I didn't listen that far. I was listening to some of Racket's stream. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Wait, Rakita read this?
Based on him.
I'm assuming not with the language that is in this.
He says the N-word actually, Mike Mysterio, he says it 10,000 times in this document.
Over 10,000 times.
He says the K-word about 1.4 thousand.
Really, hold on, let me see, because I have it up here. Where is it now? Let's see.
Oh, that's right, 1.4 thousand.
1,429.
Yep.
Yeah. And the N-word, he says, Jesus, watching that climb.
It takes a minute
10,386.
It takes a minute. It takes a minute for it to compile. Now, I also have, as much as this is enjoyable.
Oh, Emperor and the that was the book by Tucker Max. I read that to you as well, Aiden. The guy who kept Skull, with hate.
Yeah.
But like who can be completely obnoxious. Yeah, hate and oh god, who else was it? It was hate and this is gonna bug me now.
So, Arlov said you'd take a lecture hole with this guy over Philosophy 101 any day of the week. I'm not sure if you would. Because right now I have up here his professor review page. There's only like 4 reviews. This guy got in-person class shut down for acting like, oh no, this is the new one. Don't fuck with these new ones. Let's look at the old ones. Professor is extremely unprofessional and has set up his personal pornographic content to a sent his personal pornographic content to a student. This is his YouTube channel. Please fire this professor. His actions are not acceptable by any standards. I do have an archive of his YouTube account. We could look at it. I don't know how. It's just bizarre. Then we have my favorite review. Again, there's only 2 really. Easily my least favorite class at UCLA ever. He is very dry and could not care less about the class. This is a class on music and personal identity, and he made the final a 16-page essay all about race in America, a topic that was not discussed at all in the class. In addition, he made us research it and cite papers that had nothing to do with anything related to music. He has an extremely dry tone, and lectures consisted of him projecting his notes like a dense Word document on the screen and just reading off of it. He sounds mad that he has to lecture. In addition, he makes you do reading summaries before every class, which is annoying. Many people in my class complained to the department that he was being unreasonable throughout the quarter, and he kept on changing the syllabus, presumably because the department kept on getting mad at him. There was someone in my class whose grade was changed 43 times after the quarter ended. He started messaging people in the middle of the summer saying that he spilled Chinese food on their final and they needed to resubmit it. It's so laughable that I would not believe this is about a professor had I not experienced it. He changed my grade 3 times. He also discourages being a good student. This is because there were people who did not submit the midterm, who he assured would at least still get an A-. I have no idea how that guy is still teaching. Who do you want to think got an A-, even if they didn't submit their midterm? Just guessing based on this guy's racial beliefs. I think that if you were of a certain racial persuasion, he wouldn't really give a fuck if you,
Yeah.
I don't know how many videos I want to play, I won't even play it necessarily, I just want to say, of the archives that are left of his YouTube channel, because it was deleted. Apparently there were hundreds of videos, I think there's only like maybe 30 or 40 left. Let's look at, for example, we can see some here. And we can see the titles of them. Why I Love Hitler and Why He Is My Inspiration.
Oh, God. It's because he didn't like the Juden.
Hitler is one of the best fictions ever.
I could read some of this sometime, by the way.
He made that shit up. He made a lot of it up.
Not that book, by the way. The book that someone asked me about in chat, because it is funny.
Fabrication made up in Hollywood.
But you know the bit in the book that I read to you that I struggled to over and over again because I couldn't get through that one line. I guarantee if I read it again, I would fuck up that line. Because I even just thinking about it in my head makes me laugh every fucking time. The first time I read that line, I cried. Because it was so goddamn funny.
Did I read my favorite line? No, I have not. So my favorite line in the whole book is this. Never use Helvetica, that's shits for F words named jibbida hoobity hoody 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 hood or brie.
That is actually what is written, by the way.
Yeah, the next line is also,
like
don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, I would fuck a redhead, but I still hate leprechauns.
Someone asked, is that guy
I agree. I also hate Helvetica, and that shit is for F slurs. Just saying. It's only one font. There's only one font. All other fonts are inferior.
Helvetica is a good font, fight me.
It's Times New Roman.
No, it's Helvetica.
It's Times New Roman.
I like Times New Roman, but Helvetica is better
It's
font.
there can be only one, and it's Times New Roman. Get fucked.
No.
Get fucked.
No, Helvetica is better font.
Ugh. I've never heard something so stupid in my entire life. Helvetica is a better font than Times New Roman? Are you kidding me? Oh yes. I'm sure that the chat is and everyone watching is super enjoying this font discussion. Courier. Oh no, not Courier. Oh, Furious Dan. No. Oh no, not Courier. Oh no, not Comic Sans. I know you're making a meme there, but oh no.
No, Comic Sans is fucking gay.
Comic Sans is funny if you're trying to make a little meme.
But it's definitely gay.
It is definitely gay. So, okay. I have a couple of random things, and then I have a big, stupid thing to read. But let's get into the coof, because I think there's nothing else we can read about Matthew Harris, this based boy. I mean, I don't know if we want to listen to any more of Why I Love Hitler, and he's my inspiration. The man clearly has schizophrenia.
Alien Wenches, that sounds like fun. That's the name for a good pirate ship.
Probably a good font. I don't know that one. I don't know if we really want to listen to Matthew Harris' video on why he loves Hitler and why he's his inspiration. But let's continue. I have some coup stuff here. That's sad. For the most part. Scotland is becoming more tyrannical by the day.
Not a surprise.
COVID update. Scotland today. Emergency powers to become permanent in new bill. Remember how they said that this stuff was just temporary? Just temporary. Temporary little things we're going to put in place just for your health and your well-being. Uh-huh. Spoon, does the government ever relinquish power?
Not without a gunfight.
Typically no, do they?
No.
So, Coronavirus Recovery and Reform Scotland Bill would give ministers the power to respond to public health emergencies. Now, who defines what that is? In similar ways,
I was about to say the same thing.
In similar ways to legislation passed in response to COVID-19. This includes powers to impose lockdown restrictions, allow court hearings to take place remotely, and restrict access to schools.
Wow.
Hey, nothing can go wrong there. A consultation took place last year, and MSPs will now scrutinize and debate the bill. The legislation also makes changes to eviction proceedings in the private rented sector. It means certain tribunal cases will no longer automatically grant an eviction. John Sweeney said, Scottish ministers have already removed many of the temporary measures that supported our response to the pandemic, which are no longer needed. However, we believe those pragmatic reforms that have delivered demonstrable benefit to the people of Scotland should continue. Like what?
Someone said wingdings in the chat. Do you remember the conspiracy around 9/11 about that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that weird thing.
That if you put in the flight number...
Yeah.
You get like 2 pages and a plane and a...
Do you know about the...
yeah, that isn't creepy at all.
Do you know about, like, the hilarious... And it's only,
That was kind of creepy.
Do you want to know about a creepy plane crash? Do you know about the 4U German Wings flight 9525? This is totally an aside. I'll bring up the meme. So, there's something of a theory that the TV board on 4chan caused a plane to crash with Bane posting. Sorry.
God.
On a side here real quick, let's bring it up. So, I don't know how accurate all this information is. This is an old meme. But German Wings Flight 9525 was the flight number was 4U 9525. It crashes in the French Alps over Les Bains, France, with no survivors. And the pilot's name was Bruce Robin, as in Bruce Wayne and his sidekick Robin.
There's no way that's true.
It is, though. I've looked at some of this information. Some of this is true. As far as I know, that part, that it crashed over Les Bains, that it was for you, and that the pilot's name was Bruce Robin. Oh, no, he wasn't the pilot, sorry. He was a prosecutor who told Reuters, the news agency, that he had seen the wreckage of the aircraft from a helicopter. Sorry. I got that. Sorry, fake news for a second.
A bit fake news.
Only a little bit. It's still correct. This guy's name was still Bruce Robin. Bane? You're a big guy for you. Alright.
It will be very painful.
It will be very painful. Okay, so what are the benefits that have been given to the Scottish people under these lockdowns? I'd like to have an answer to that question. Whilst it has been incredibly disruptive, the urgency of the pandemic has driven the pace of digital adoption.
Get to eat less fat food.
I guess so. And in some cases, more efficient ways of working and better service to the public. What are the better ways of working?
You don't have to put up with annoying colleagues. I'm trying to be as generous as I can.
You don't have to be in person, I guess?
Well, no, yeah, if you think the coup was going to kill you, then yeah, that probably would be a good thing.
I'm grateful to everyone who took the time to respond to our consultation, which has been considered very carefully in the drafting of the bill to embed these beneficial reforms in Scotland's public services, along with the temporary extension of some justice measures to assist the courts with clearing the backlog of cases arising from the pandemic. Our priorities are continue to lead Scotland safely through and out of the COVID pandemic, to address inequalities made worse by COVID, make progress towards a well-being economy, that's not working well, and accelerate inclusive, person-centered public services. What the fuck does that mean? Do you know?
Say that again?
To accelerate inclusive, person-centered public services. That's why they're extending the COVID reforms, where they can just lock you down for basically no reason. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. The powers
that
it would
sounds
hand...
like we're willing to oppress everyone equally.
Yeah, we're gonna oppress you. The power... Is that it? Oh, it's all equal if you're all equally oppressed. The powers it would hand the Scottish government permanently were only ever meant to be temporary for the duration of the pandemic. The most worrying of the proposals is the power to close schools and release prisoners early. And the proposed bill, yes, lets them do this without prior parliamentary approval.
That's not ironic at all.
The bill is an alarming and unnecessary overreach by the SNP, of course. It's the SNP. So the Scottish Conservatives will oppose measures which put too much power in the hands of ministers. Scottish Labour's the Labour Party is upset by this. Jackie Baillie also said the bill is a power grab. She said, these emergency powers were a necessary response to an unprecedented crisis, not a free pass for ministers to hoard new powers. The bill would give ministers permanent power to shut down schools and confine people to their homes at a drop of a hat.
You know what's bad? When the Labour Party says
When the Labour Party is saying, hang on a minute, guys, maybe you're overreaching a little bit.
And the Labour Party is fucking maniacal.
How interesting. I have to use the restroom. Can you entertain the chat?
Yes, I can, by saying all kinds of egomaniacal
Don't
things.
say the N-word.
I'm not going to say the N-word.
I'll be right
I'm going
back.
to say the F-word.
All right. Don't do that either.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
I'm not going to say the F-word, for God's sakes. I'll say faggy, because... I can say that, right? Oh, it's too late now, anyway. Dear public school is just a different prison. I think you learn more in a prison than you would in a public school at this point. You probably would, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you did life skills in a prison. I don't think you've done life skills at a school. Not that you ever did. I'm missing tea. Sad I am. Oh shit, what's up, Stan? Dance monkey spoon. I don't have any legs. I can't dance. I can make my top hat do funny things by wiggling from side to side. That's about it. I so want to read some of that guy's manifesto just because it's fucking insane. There's no way in hell I'll be able to say any of this, by the way. Like, I think even on the first page, the end would have said... Okay, let's see if I can count. What the hell? No, zoom in, you asshole. Hell, why can't I zoom into this?
Okay, did you die in the last 10 seconds?
Yes. Horrible, horrible death.
Alright. Good.
Why not talk on aristocracy? Because I favor aristocracy, that's probably why.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's,
I favor an unelected aristocracy.
That's another interesting article here. Get rid of that, sorry. This is an archive link, so it'll take a moment for it to load. We don't need a study. Health officials can't offer evidence to support Youngkin's mask order. Compliance Health Commissioner says it's not optional. So this is Governor Glenn Youngkin issued an executive order to give students the ability to opt out of school masking policies. Dr. Colin Green, the newly appointed state health commissioner, addressed the directive in an email to local health district directors. Quote, I suspect there are those who will find this rule hard to hear, he wrote, adding that they should discuss the pros and cons of masking at length in a planned monthly Zoom meeting when it came to Virginia Department of Health public stance, though Green was clear. I respectfully remind all health directors that the VDH is an executive agency under the leadership, oversight, and discipline of the governor. He continued in the email, which was obtained by Mercury. Compliance with the word and intent of this executive order on the part of the VDH employee is not optional. In other words, the governor is saying children have to wear masks, and they're still fighting back against it and saying, no, children have to wear masks in school.
I know why.
They can't say why. We'll continue though to see why. let's see what their reasons are, right? What he couldn't provide was evidence for the governor's statements on limited effectiveness of masks in schools, which ran counter to much of the department's previous messaging prior to Youngkin's inauguration on January 15th. In his order, the governor stated that cloth masks worn by children often weren't clean, resulting in the collection of impurities, including bacteria and parasites. That's true. Excuse me. The reality is that, like, these kids wear these masks. They're children. They touch crap. They touch dirt. They touch dirty things. They touch their mask. They touch their face. And then they wear the mask over and over again. It collects mold and mildew. Bacteria. Additionally, wearing masks for a prolonged period of time, such as for an entire school day, decreases their effectiveness. The order states, Dr. Denise Bonds, director of the Blue Ridge Health District, asked Green for research supporting those statements, writing that it would help her conversations with schools if she could offer scientific references. One of the items you quoted is intuitive, Green responded. Worn all day, he wrote, it would be hard to argue that masks don't collect materials from the mouth and nose, which we all know are teeming with bacteria. By deductive reasoning, the mask, which is designed to capture droplets, will capture the bacteria too. We don't need a study to show that. It's true. They're mad.
Common sense will do that.
It's not just common sense, but there is data on this as well, by the way. But the policy has been okay. Where was I? A spokesman for the Blue Ridge Health District said Bonds wasn't available to comment, referring to Mercury back to VDH central office and you misspelled Richmond here, but okay, good job. VDH spokesperson Maria Repes referred to all questions on the executive order to the governor's office, but the change in policy has been a 180-degree shift for the state, which under Governor Ralph Northam had required local school districts to adopt universal masking policies. And for at least one local health district employee who spoke on background due to fear of reprisal for discussing the executive order, their response rankled after nearly 2 years in seemingly unending quest to curb COVID-19 transmission that the worker said sometimes included 80-hour work weeks. The lack of evidence has been especially troubling, the employee said, amid broader anxieties over Youngkin's mask optional order, which has led to open defiance and widespread confusion with many Virginia school districts. There's extensive evidence in here. And by that I mean they don't cite anything. They say examining the evidence. They don't actually cite anything. But they cite some. We can go through it. While Youngkin's stance on masking in schools marks a significant policy shift in Virginia, it's not unique in the broader debate over masking and other pandemic public health measures. Courts have already struck down attempts by Republican governors to prohibit or limit masks in states like Texas and Florida, where Gov. Ron DeSantis issued a similar directive giving parents the freedom to choose. Over the last few months...
yes, based Florida man.
I know, based Florida man. Over the last few months, outlets including The Atlantic and The Washington Post have published articles and editorials making the case against mandatory masking for students, many focused on studies conducted by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So the CDC is saying the masks don't work. We know this. The CDC has been open about this. YouTube, they are citing the CDC. I am citing the CDC. It is true that some of those studies, including a frequently criticized paper studying school masking in Arizona, didn't disentangle mask use from other variables. The CDC's research on 2 counties in Arizona, for example, conducted last summer, before either Omicron began circulating widely, didn't account for vaccination status among staff or students, and included a period when many schools were closed. Other critics have pointed... By the way... Yeah, you should have done that in your data analysis. But if you find that it doesn't work at all, if you find that it's not useful in a general setting, why would it be more useful if someone is vaxxed?
Why did
we know that the vax is not
in schools, by the way?
Huh?
How did they test this in schools, by the way?
I'm not sure. We could look at the paper real quick. Oh, fuck you! Cite to another Atlantic article. Cite to the fucking paper, piece of shit. Broader study.
This is from the Atlantic?
Originally, no, this is from Virginia Mercury, but they cite an Atlantic article, not the actual study. I hate that shit. Absolutely hate that shit. Broader studies on masking, though, including a randomized trial in Bangladesh, have shown that surgical masks do slow coronavirus transmission. You have one study from Bangladesh? Because no one else is finding this. Including the CD fucking C. But you have one study from Bangladesh. and it's going to cite to a Nature article. And here's the thing. Oh my god. And I haven't read
Please
through this.
wear a mask and keep your distance, because if the
this,
first
but
one
let's
works, why do I need to do the second?
Here we go. There it is. Let's find it. Let's look at this study real quick. Oh, it's not available. They want me to pay for it. I'm not doing that shit. let's look at the at least abstract. What? This DOI not work? If this DOI doesn't work, then what's the freaking point? What? Hang on. Oh, it's maybe my problem. What am I doing wrong? Copy. Did I fuck this up? There we go. It just links, the DOI links to this Nature article. What? DOI? Am I losing my mind?
Yes.
Make sure. Oof, what's happening? Oh no. My computer appears to be flailing again. If the stream goes down, it's because my computer is deciding to crash again for some reason. Over this DOI.
Use a different browser and stuff.
It's not a browser, it's just now my Word is now crashing.
What?
Trying to link the fucking DOI.
How big is it opening?
No, I got it. Okay. This is the correct DOI. If I type in the DOI, it links back to this Nature article. If I go to Sci-Hub, I've never seen this happen before in my entire life. I have never, ever seen this happen. The DOI links to Nature, not to a scientific study. What? Yeah, Rat King doesn't work. It only links back to Nature. The DOI link links to Nature. I have never seen this happen. That's a little sus. Oh wait, hang on. Is this your reference? This working paper, is this it? Oh, because it's their own. Nature gives themselves their own DOI link. Oh, that's why. Make their community masking on Bangladesh. Let's look at. Okay, I found it. I'm only a little bit dumb. Just read their abstract. We conducted a cluster randomized trial to measure the effect of community mask distribution in populations symptomatic SARS-CoV-2 infections in rural Bangladesh from Nov 2020. We cross-randomized math type, cloths versus surgical. That'll be important. And promoted strategies in the village and household of proper mask wearing. Increase from okay, blah blah blah, bloody enrichment, reduce symptomatic seroprevalence. Seroprevalence, especially among adults. No, this is community level. No. This is community level. This is not experimental. Nope. I knew this was gonna be bullshit, guys. I knew it was gonna be bullshit when I looked at it. Rat King, their own DOI, Nature makes its own DOI for their own articles. That was the problem. It was just linked at the bottom. Let's see. Tension coefficient. I mean, I have to read this in more detail. But I'm real sus on this. I'm real sus on this.
Use it? Bad ain't.
What? I didn't use this. I clicked on their link. I clicked on their I clicked on their study they cited. I'm real sus on this Bangladesh masking trial, considering that this is now counterintuitive and counter to all of the other research on the efficacy of masking. So, a little bit sus on that one. I could go into that data more later. Speaking of data, do you want me to read the scary stuff that I found?
The children?
The children stuff, yeah.
Oh god, that's just gonna make people nuts.
If you want to be sad, we can go into the sad stuff. Which I think it does go into. So, there was a study that was going around. Which is associations between adverse childhood experiences, attitudes towards COVID-19 restrictions, and vaccine hesitancy, a cross-sectional study. The way that this study is being reported is that people who were abused as children are more vaccine hesitant. And they're saying basically that the way that they're twisting what the finding of these findings of this paper are is that, well, abused, broken people are vaccine hesitant. So you can criticize them against, I guess, even though I thought that the wonderful, caring, loving left would have seen that as a kind of serious issue if it's people who have been abused as children who are more vaccine hesitant, which they are, by the way. But
I wasn't abused, and I'm vaccine hesitant, otherwise known as sane.
Well, it's more than that. So here's
That's
the
because I know my immune system isn't made of pudding.
Yeah, I know. But here's the actual findings. I'll give you the TLDR from this study. We can scroll down. We can look at the figures. Probably nice to look at the figures. Oh, look, there's a nice graph. So, the TLDR on this study, and this is Bellis et al. 2022. They sought to see if that having adverse childhood traumas was associated with vaccine hesitancy in an adult Welsh sample. The adverse childhood events, or ACE, so I'll just call them ACE from now on, were measured by asking subjects if they had experienced any of the following events before the age of 18: physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, parental separation, domestic violence, mental illness, alcohol or drug abuse, or incarceration. Half of the people in the sample had no ACEs, and 21% had 1, 16.4% had 2 or 3, and 10% had 4 or more. NHS distrust was related to vaccine hesitancy, such that 42.1% of those reporting low trust in the NHS also reported vaccine hesitancy, compared to just 5.6% of those with high trust in the NHS. Just to be clear, that was outside of this ACE crap, right? So, people who distrust the NHS, nearly half, 42%, were also vaccine hesitant, while only 5.6% of those who highly trusted the NHS were vaccine hesitant, right? That alone is an interesting finding to me. But I mean that makes sense. Like, if you don't trust the NHS, you're not going to trust the vaccines. People who had 4 or more ACEs felt twice as restricted by government lockdowns as those with none. Younger people and males also felt more restricted. 4 or more ACEs were 3 times. People with 4 or more ACEs were 3 times as supportive of ending social distancing as those with none. And again, as were younger people and males. 4 or more ACEs were 4 times more likely to support ending mask mandates. The same trend in support for ending mask mandates was also elevated in young people and males. As ACE count increased, so did propensity to break lockdowns, and tendency to follow lockdown restrictions decreased with age, so younger people didn't follow lockdowns. People who had recovered from COVID were also more likely to break lockdown restrictions. 4 or more ACEs were 4 or more times likely to be vaccine hesitant than those with none. Younger people, however, were also more hesitant. I don't know what the fuck this study's supposed to prove. It's getting sent around as, like, again, abused, broken people are more vaccine hesitant. But did you maybe think that, like, maybe people who have been abused by the system are less likely to trust it? Because that's what I got out of that, right? What do you think?
It's an abusive thing.
If people who have seen abuse by the system, it would make sense why they're less likely to trust it, to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
just coincidental.
It might be coincidental. Like, I don't really think these are pretty strong findings. But I would say I don't think this means that people who are this doesn't mean people who are vaccine hesitant or who are against vaccines or who are against mandates are victims of abuse. It means that victims of abuse are among those, right? I wanted to debunk this study because it's getting thrown around a lot right now.
Yeah, I think that's just coincidental.
And by debunk the study, I mean the study is well done, but to say that
that's all bullshit.
To say that, well, because you're against mandates means you were abused, that's a misinterpretation of the data. What's not a misinterpretation of the data is a meta-analysis from Bauer et al. And they found, I'm just going to read. You guys ready to get really depressed here for a minute? Because I'm going to read something really upsetting. Buckle up, Homestuck. Several reviews have identified that younger age was associated with depression, psychological distress, and anxiety, PTSD, and worse mental health in association with COVID. Another review found that amongst younger populations identifying as LGBTQ, having an eating disorder and other pre-existing mental health issues, or being maltreated tended to have poor mental health outcomes under the context of COVID. Among children, one meta-analysis calculated a pooled prevalence of anxiety and depression at 34.5% and 41.7% respectively. Several reviews found that older children or adolescents had worse mental health outcomes than younger children, including anxiety and depression, again, all under the context of COVID. However, another review reported mixed evidence, finding that younger children under 6 had poorer or no differences in mental health compared to older children. Relative to younger children, being an adolescent during COVID was associated with poorer general mental health, depression, and anxiety. Among adolescents, experiencing fear of COVID-19 infection for themselves and their families was associated with depression. Somatic symptoms are when you have physical manifestations of depression. So, like, when you feel physical pain as a result of psychiatric illness. Anxiety and OCD symptoms. While no association between the degree of social distancing and indicators of poor mental health amongst adolescents were found in one review, other reviews, including one that examined pre-pandemic data, found that school closures, physical distancing, quarantine, isolation, and threat of infection were associated with depression and anxiety for children and adolescents. Other risk factors for poor mental health among adolescents included knowledge and worry about COVID-19, high social media use, poor perceived health, high exposure risk to COVID-19, low social support, negative coping skills, and trauma. Factors associated with better mental health included engaging in parent discussions about mental health. So I don't want to hear this kind of shit about how, like, oh, well, because you were traumatized as a kid, that's why you're afraid of the vaccine. When 35% of children are being diagnosed with anxiety and 41.7% are being diagnosed with depression as a direct result of COVID-19. Or indirect result. So I don't really want to hear that shit. You know what I mean?
You're cutting out a bit for me.
Sorry. My point, though, is I don't want to hear this study, which is fine. The Bella study is interesting. But I don't want to hear about how people who are vaccine hesitant or who are against masks are psychologically stunted because they were abused as children. When you have a 34.5% prevalence of anxiety and a 41.7% prevalence of depression in children following the COVID-19 pandemic. Half of children, nearly, are depressed. Clinically depressed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can sort of see why that would make people uneasy.
Makes me a little mad. Put it that way.
Everyone knows the Moss thing is a bunch of crap, though.
It is. That was if you listen to the streams, I will try to every week bring some science into it. That's my contribution, right? My voice is dying. Do you want to handle, like, a couple of articles? Because you just did a video on this about Brandon's branding problem, right?
Oh god, yes.
I've got some articles that I know that you sent me, and to save my voice for a little bit, I'll bring up for
yeah, I don't even need the articles. I can just spitball off the top of my head.
So I'll bring up here's the let's do this one first, okay? I'll pull it up.
Oh god fucking damn.
I know. Just to save my voice a little bit. Why good messaging won't save the Democrats?
Oh god, even I could answer that question. I don't need.
Well, we all know. Save my voice for a little bit soon. It's dying. I'm getting a cold, like I said. This is our last topic, guys.
Let's see. Why good messaging won't save the Democrats? Dan Pfeiffer on the Democratic brand and how to revive it. Tenquid says his advice is complete asshole. What is wrong with the Democratic brand? Jesus fucking Christ! How long have you got to answer this question?
Where do you start?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. It's run by a guy, or the current head of their brand, so to speak, is even older than the concept of branding itself.
Yeah.
That's probably a good start. To be sure, the country has a lot of problems right now. Yes, and all of them happened after he got into power.
Yeah.
Which should kind of tell you something. He's the originator of the problems. So that also tells you he's not going to solve them.
Well, it's correlation, not causation, but still.
You know what I mean.
I know.
There's inflation, he's doing. A supply chain crisis, he's undoing. A pandemic that just won't go away. That under his watch than Trump's.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the guy who said, well, anyone that has as many deaths under Trump's as Trump has should resign. Wonder if he's going to stick by his own standards. Of course not. The Democrats.
Of course not.
Yeah. On top of that, Democrats have seen huge chunks of their agenda stall out in Congress. Yeah, because mandate through Congress and you don't have the numbers to do so means it's going to fall flat on its face, like your fucking presidency. The party in power will always pay a price for that kind of instability. Gritty. Still, the Biden administration has done quite a lot. Like passing 1.9 trillion rescue package, which has sent inflation skyrocketing, sending $1.4 thousand checks to basically every American, which enacting a landmark child benefit that even inspired memes.
Look, can I look at the memes real quick?
All right.
Oh, just another Vox article.
Memes? I didn't even know they fucking have been in memes.
Oh my god, I kind of want to watch this.
Let me see who's it.
It's just a bunch of TikToks.
TikToks are not meme. Fuck off.
I'm gonna see it though. Hang on.
I won't even.
When that child tax credit shit. What the fuck is this? This is not a meme. Ew.
Yeah, no, that's.
Let me watch the other one real quick. Because it can't get worse, right? It can't get worse than that.
What a bet.
These people were probably paid literally by Democrats to make these. I'm not even joking. I'm not even trying to be conspiratorial, because they do that shit. You know? That was awful. And my life, by the way, is worsened by having seen them. And I'm sorry, chat.
Don't click on that second one.
I already played it. Sorry. I'm sorry, all of our lives are worsened for having seen it. I had a thing I was gonna post that really would have made our lives worse. Did you see that horrible meme about with the dancing doctors I sent you the other day on Discord? Can I play it real quick?
Go on.
Alright, hang on, I found it. The one really, I found it was on a COG stream the other day, and it really made me lose my will to live. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. Where the hell did I post this? Will to...
You know the left...
Huh?
You know the left can't meme?
No shit they can't.
So why pay... You know it's just gonna make you cringe and go, oh god, why?
Alright, okay guys, alright, we're gonna watch something. I want you to buckle up, because it's gonna be the cringiest fucking hang on, just pause it. Alright.
I want to see how many people... You have children, you should get no...
Should get no what? Sorry.
You should get, like, no funding from the state at all. None, not a single fucking penny.
I mean, why? I don't think anyone should get any money from the state, because I believe...
Just get on the state.
Well, because I think taxation is theft, but I mean, that's my opinion.
Yes.
Alright.
You should not get subsidized for having a kid, ever. The state should not give you a penny.
Yeah, I agree, but I wasn't sure if there's a specific reason other than taxation and stuff. Did you watch this video the other day, Spoon?
No.
Are you ready?
No.
I want you to watch it.
And I never will be.
I saw it and now you have to watch it too, which is the exact thing that Live to TikTok said. This is okay guys, I just want to let you know, I'm very sorry in the chat, everybody who's here. This is one of the worst things. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I know that there's a communication expectation violation, where like if you set something up to be like, oh, and I didn't meet your expectation, then that can cause dissonance. This will meet your expectation of the worst thing you've ever seen. Ready?
Ready? Roll call. My name's Nicole, and I'm a doctor for kids, and I help parents not with their lids. Woo! Ready?
Ready.
Roll call.
I'm Dr. Todd. I know the tricks to keeping kids from getting sick.
Like magic, but real.
Oh my God, Todd! What are we gonna do? It's like people just don't believe us anymore.
I know, Nicole. You know what? These people would rather just listen to some random person or somebody on social media. I bet they couldn't even pass Mr. Jenkins' 9th grade science class.
I totally know what you're saying, Todd. But what are we gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe. Wait. What if we created the perfect cheer?
Vaccinate! 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 Vaccinate!
Who's that girl talking about vaccines?
It's me! It's me.
Who's that girl talking about vaccines?
It's me. It's me. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. COVID. COVID. You can take a knee.
Just real quick.
I don't want to.
just fuck my shit up, bro.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
That's my response. I can't. Alright, Spoon, are you alive? Did you manage to survive?
I have been muted.
You've muted.
I'm way too smart for this stupid shit.
God damn it! Alright, go back. There's the fucking Vox article. By the way, Spoon did a video on this this topic today, which I'll post the video in the chat. But go ahead and you continue. I'll post the video. Struggle. You're right.
Leroy Jenkins, good times.
Hello.
I have not cheated. I'm just smarter than everyone else. I will not be suckered into watching a bunch of shit that's gonna make me throw a boomerang at Aiden's head. Yeah. So why has party preference shifted in the past year from a 9-point Democratic advantage to a 5-point Democratic advantage to a Republican advantage? From 40-year inflation, you fucking imbeciles.
Calendar, man.
That's the biggest swing in a calendar year since Gallup started tracking it. Oof, which is
bruh.
When you account for all the unenforced errors from the White House. No, it doesn't. I reached out to Dan Pfeiffer, who has served as the White House Communications Director for President Barack Obama, and is now a co-host of the podcast Pod Save America. Stop your deliciously annoying simping. Fuck off. For the latest episode of Vox Conversations, Pfeiffer is a sharp political observer. He's not that sharp if you can't fucking tell, by the way. Yeah. But he's also spent a lot of time thinking about something he calls democratic messaging deficit. Oh my fucking god, I hate these people. Please help me.
Don't die. It's alright, it's alright. Don't worry. Don't die.
You can't message your way out of this. Your policies fucking suck. I've said this before. You can't set the world on fire and then tell everyone else the world is fine when you set it on fire. No, it's because you suck. You're shit and your policies are fucking awful.
Yeah.
His main point is that Democrats are struggling to define themselves and get their message to voters because the media environment is stacked against them. No, reality is stacked against you. And then in fundamental ways. So even if Democrats pass a great policy, they've never fucking done that in over a fucking year, that improves the lives of millions of Americans, which has never fucking happened, it doesn't matter if they can't get people to connect the dots. The connect the dots is you are gay, Democrats are shite. And if he's right about that, he fucking isn't. This is an enormous challenge for the party. I've said this before. This is my hypothesis, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Trump has destroyed politics. He came into the White House.
Oh, yeah.
Pissed on everything. Set the old rulebook on fire in a glorious Cheeto-infused blaze. Now the Democrats, young and old, don't know what to do. Because before they would just, we can just message we had a bad problem. Trump has just gave you a precedent now of what a good president actually looks like. He actually set a really high bar. And now people are looking at Trump versus the new guys, and they go,
I think
this system doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why it's so completely evident is that they were telling people for 4 years that this is the worst president in all of human history. And yet they were seeing things around them doing better. Like, this is the worst it could ever get. And now they're saying, this is the best it can ever get, and yet they're seeing demonstrably in their own lives in terms of their prices at the pump, the prices of food at the grocery store, the fact that critical race theory is running out of control, the fact that their freedoms are being rescinded and restricted. And they're going, wait a minute, if the last guy was the worst it could ever possibly be, and this is the best it could possibly be, because that's how they're framing it, that the only problem with Biden, as we're going to get into, is I'll pull up some more articles. Again, thank you for helping my voice rest for a minute as we get through these. If it's only just that Trump is the problem, then what the hell is this? If this is the best, right? The hell is this? I'm not sure it's getting through to people. I thought we should do these ones too. The Economist and the response to the Economist.
Oh God.
Because they're really good though.
Is this because
Huh?
you watched the Misery thing? Now you're going to inflict this shit upon me as well?
I'm not. No, but no. It's these two articles. Of course, again. Okay,
Don't
so
lie to
you
me,
read.
woman.
You sent these to me. This is the original. Do
Yes,
you want
I
to read the
think that is
original?
a troll.
Actually, do you have to like actually pay for the Economist article, or should we just read the response to it? Because just the TLDR.
The one that I sent you, the one that I sent you with the response, that is the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's in there. All right. We're gonna.
The
put
response is fucking funny, by the way.
Yeah. Let's put up. Here's the response.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
I read the response and I'm like, God damn! I wish I could pinch this and just put it on my freaking video because it sounds like something that I would.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Let's see. Where was I now? Right. We talk about the stakes of this problem if policy reality.
Wait. Where are you? Where are you? Are we doing the hot air article?
This is the Vox one.
Oh, you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh, you can start with the wait. The Economist.
No, this is the Vox one.
Oh, are we still on the Vox one?
Yes.
Fuck. I thought we were done.
This is like barely 10% in.
Oh, I got confused. Oh, I'm stupid. God dang it.
Yes,
oh,
you
no.
are.
Oh, I thought it stopped. I forgot it was when they kept talking. I forgot they kept talking. Fuck. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Let's see. We talk about the stakes of this problem. If policy realities actually matter anymore, they do, which is why your brand is terrible. We hear why he believes the left has to build its own media ecosystem, and what he thinks the Democratic Party can learn from its missteps in 2021. Build your own media ecosystem. What the fuck do you call what you have now?
That's what I can't understand.
You have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have
YouTube.
CNN, you have MSNBC.
You have
yes.
everything.
You
and
own
you
the
got
entire apparatus.
Yes, you destroyed shit like Parler. You're trying very hard to destroy every other alternative media platform. So this is one of the most bizarre things I've ever read. The left has to build its own media ecosystem? Where the fuck do you think you live, right? Like, what? I honestly don't understand this. Where the fuck? Like, what is their issue? That there are occasionally 1 out of 10 times, not even that, 1 out of 50 times in a conversation on Twitter, somebody might be a conservative. So we need to get rid of that 1/50th conservative influence. That's what's destroying us. This is incredibly delusional.
Insane.
It's delusional.
Yeah, I like this. It's not a giant mystery. It is to you people. But let's start with the obvious. Why is a Democratic brand so weak right now? If it's so obvious, why are you asking him this? I mean, that would just be the first thing that comes to my mind. You don't need a political science degree. Okay. Or a master pollster to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you do, which is why you're having this conversation.
Right.
Things are not great. No shit. People are pissed off, and the Democrats are in charge. Not really. I think China's in charge. I mean, that was the problem with the Virginia gubernatorial election, and that's the problem nationally. People are incredibly exhausted and frustrated. Yes, because you're shite.
Because you're pushing shit that nobody wants. You're pushing socialist, commie bullshit, commie gobbledygook that regular people can see, and they don't want it.
What's Cinderella say when you get to the ball? Let's see. I think also too many people for too long underrated the political impact of inflation. No shit. Or maybe thought it would be more transitory. Janet Yellen was the only one who thought it was transitory. Everyone else just went, yeah, that woman's a lying bitch. But it was very real. The people very upset about it and were in charge. And all of the conversation and coverage for the last year has been about
Wait, do you want to trade
Democrats.
off? Should I be Dan and you be Sean? Or
God, no.
how about, will you be Dan and I'll be Sean?
I'm just gonna read a bit of this and then just stop because this is gonna drive me nuts.
All right.
You
don't want me to be Sean?
Nothing. No, I'm just gonna skim through
I'm
this
gonna be
and then
Sean.
just derail all these fuckers.
I'm gonna be Sean.
No.
Why do you think the Democrats' message is falling flat? They are bad, and Democrats have definitely had a ton of setbacks, but they've also got plenty done. Why is none of that getting through?
Why do you make him sound more feminine than even you are?
I don't know. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, whatever. The biggest problem is that Democrats continue to believe the best way we're going to communicate, or maybe the only way to communicate our messages, is through traditional press. Oh.
Yeah, but you don't just control the traditional press, you control all elements of media, and you still suck. You still suck.
Don't make me read the rest of this because I just did a video on this and
I know you
can't
did, but
deal
that's why I
with this.
thought you would be a good person to ask about it.
I can't deal with this anymore.
You struggling?
This is basically the entire democratic apparatus, because this is what they've done for 50 years. Is they just message through a load of shite, and because there was never a fucking decent president in any of these jackasses' lifetime, this is what they would normally do. Now, because Trump set the high bar, they're constantly competing against Trump's policies or what he put forward, and they have no other alternative to this, which is why they're spiraling out of control and just driving themselves off a cliff because they don't know what else to do.
Exactly. He doesn't. What he says next year, we're gonna tell the New York Times, we're gonna tell CNN, we're going to tell the Richmond Times Dispatch. They're going to communicate that to the public. That model hasn't worked for a very long time. What you're admitting it doesn't work, but you're still gonna do the same fucking shit. That's the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
So you're just going to keep saying, we're going to just put out more propaganda, and hope it fucking works. Well, clearly it's not working, which is, they are admitting here, but they can't fucking figure out what else to do. Because this is the issue, right, Spoon? Like, all they have is propaganda. They don't know what else to do outside of propaganda.
The next line is puzzling to me. It says, we're in a world where Facebook dominates, where right-wing propaganda and disinformation dominates. The idea that, I know it's fucking
I literally
funny.
spit on my fucking drink, dude.
Yeah. The idea that anyone other than the most plugged-in news junkies are going to have any real information about what's really happening is just folly. Okay, I am a news junkie. I read news every fucking day. And I read lefty news sources every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen anything substantial in any of their news sources for 6 fucking months. These people haven't written anything of substance or why they are struggling for 6 fucking months. Ever since this motherfucker has gotten in office, he hasn't done a damn thing to help the country, which is why his polling numbers keep cratering, because they have no policy ideas that will actually fucking help the people.
That's the purpose of this
You can't brand
segment.
your way out of this.
Yeah, the purpose. I titled this segment "Brandon's Branding Problem," and that's the thing, is that all they can think of is like, oh, how do we brand it? How do we brand it better? It's like, well,
yes,
it's
not going to work.
If it sucks, no amount of branding fixes it.
Yes.
That's all they're talking about. That's all they're thinking about. How do
That's
we
why
brand
the
it?
Democrats are going to get destroyed in November.
Mm.
Because I had a look
I
at
sure
the
hope so,
polling.
man.
The average drop for a president
Mhm.
from now to the midterms, going all the way back
Usually
to Truman,
presidents do bad during midterms.
yes, is 8 points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
An
He's already
8
lost
point
a
drop in approval. He's already lost about 20 in
yeah.
a year. He's most likely going to drop more than 8 points, which means if he drops anything more than 8, his approval rating would be in the mid-20s.
Let me explain a little bit of this though. Teaspoon. Logistically, yeah. Historically, yeah. But the difference is that there's a certain portion of the Democrats that are such extreme hardcore partisans that they would sit around and let themselves be turned into slaves, to have all of their rights removed. But as long as they were on the, quote, right side of history, and they weren't being racist and voting for Republicans, they would still vote for Biden. They would sit there and let Biden put them in a slave collar and vote for him again just because it's more important to them to show that they're not racist. It's not a huge portion of people, but it's significant. And I think it's probably about 20%. I don't think he will ever fall below 20% approval, and that's because you have about 20% of people that are that dogmatic. Do you know what I mean?
That may be the case, but those people are not going to turn out and vote for his people.
I think they will to some degree.
No, they won't. They'll be demoralized. They have no reason to.
I don't know. I hope you're correct, but I'm not sure.
Why do you think there's been a 14-point swing to the GOP in a year?
Well, I mean, obviously because, well, again,
That's
because
higher
I'm saying
party
it's 20% of the population. So I'm saying 80% of the population is malleable.
Yeah,
this
in
way.
general maybe, but this isn't a general. This is a midterm.
I think there's 20% that are so partisan that they cannot be swayed no matter what.
I think it's less than 20. I think it's a lot less than 20.
I hope you're correct, but I'm not sure
especially,
that's accurate.
Especially because of how bad it's going now. And also, there's no orange man to get people riled.
But again, these people, the idea of being a Democrat is baked into their sense of self. It's part of their, you know, if you take
Also,
social penetration theory, like that's like a main aspect of their sense of self. It's at their core is Democrat. I vote Democrat. It's like that's their core sense of self. And I think that's something between 15 and 20% of people. I'll put it that way. You'll never get rid of that. Same thing with the right, by the way, that are core Republicans.
Young can beat Terry McAuliffe.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry McAuliffe won that state by like 12 points.
Yeah.
And he got his ass handed to him by Youngkin.
Well,
like no one knows who the hell the guy even was.
Virginia is a state that is not as blue as it seems. The problem with Virginia, right?
Yeah, but it's the guy was a Clintonian.
Right, but
massively well funded, like establishmentarian. He got his ass kicked by a fucking newbie.
Yes, but so.
You know the way that I'm trying to white pill you, you're trying to black pill me now? I'm not going to follow the fucking thing.
No, I'm not trying to black pill you. I'm telling you the specific case in Virginia, right? Is that Virginia is a mixed state. And by that I mean the vast majority of DCites live in Virginia, right? So you get these DCite, mostly hard
It's still
left.
lost. That makes it better.
But I know, but I'm saying, but the rest of Virginia does not agree with them. The rest of Virginia is a pretty red state. It just that it was so bad, but the things that they were that was happening to their children, that they came out in force and said, no, we won't abide by this. That was what really got them, and that's why it's been bizarre to watch the Democrats react to it and be like, why are you mad that we're trying to indoctrinate your children? How dare you? And it's like, well, yeah, but that's what they're mad about. You could try walking it back and not doing that, and then maybe they might vote for you, but instead you decided, no, we want to indoctrinate your children and we're going to die on that hill. So, but that's why Virginia is a mixed state like that, because Virginia otherwise is quite red. Does that make sense? It's just that DC metro area that's fucked. Which is basically that's the problem with almost every state in the country besides like California. Even in California has its red areas in the north. But like you know, if you look at Illinois, for example, you know, Chicago is the only red or the only blue area of Illinois. The rest of the state is red. So basically every state in the union that votes blue because of a city or a metro area, and that's the reason why Virginia tends to, if it ever does, vote blue. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I still disagree.
What do you disagree with?
Because I think they will still be outnumbered.
Possibly. Yeah. And probably, actually. You're right. Because you get all the DCites, yeah.
Joe led off stage by his wife.
I will never forget when, I don't know why this doesn't get brought up more. Do you remember that scene where, like, Jill was pointing at him and he just put her finger in his mouth on stage?
Yeah.
Why, like, I can't, it's so bizarre to me. Biden has done so many insane things that if anyone else had done them, it would be played on the news. If it had been Trump, for example, I hate to be like, what if, or whataboutism. But could you imagine if Trump had, like, during his run for president, put his wife's finger in his mouth and sucked on it on stage?
They would have said he's deranged.
I'm just saying, like, no one even remembers that bit. But because it's just one of so many of his gaffes that it falls by the wayside. Sorry, continue. Were you done with that part with Dan?
Fucking no.
I know it may sound like a ridiculous question. Do you want to go to something else? I don't know.
Yeah, because I cannot stomach this. Because there's nothing new that these fuckers are going to say that I haven't said already.
But that's why I brought this part up, because I thought you might have unique things to say. Do you want to do the hot air piece, the Morrissey piece?
Give me the one that had the responses, because I can read the responses. They're actually funny.
It's the hot air piece. Yeah, the one that was a response to the. So there was an Economist article.
This made me funny.
This shit's hilarious. There was an Economist article that was basically like, Joe Biden was set up to fail, so anything bad that happened to Brandon, it was because he was intentionally set up. Poor Brandon, he's being abused, the poor old man. Here, do you want to read this article then? It's hilarious. This shit's so fucking fun. Do you want me to read the Economist lines?
I can pretty much read the whole thing in a condescending, snooty way.
Go ahead, be
snooty.
When
Republic or appears to do so, the media focuses on its coverage entirely incompetence, overreach, and extremism. When a Democratic president stumbles, suddenly the job becomes impossible.
How bizarre.
We saw this during the We saw this during the Barack Obama administration, especially after the 2010 midterms gave control of the House to the GOP. The economy sees a need to come to Biden's rescue a little more quickly than that. If any voters demanded more of their leaders and modern Americans, the thought occurred to your columnist while listening to a group of eight Georgians,
Ohioans,
okay, weird, and Pennsylvanians, all aged under 30 and college educated, opine on President
this
Joe
fucking
Biden
foreigner
this week.
trying to read this shit.
Fuck you. You trying to read any of my fucking language, you bitch. It was not pretty.
Hurdy-gurdy, dirty. There you go. That's pretty much it, right?
That's Swedish.
I know.
Not Afrikaans.
Dutch is basically the same
thing. You can't even
thing.
mock my country.
Dutch
No, it
is-
isn't.
Oh, my wooden shoes.
It's like me saying you may as well be English.
You fucking wooden shoe squaring homie.
What has your race done? Mine has windmills and
We
daffodils.
dooted. We had a big doots. We sat in the swamp and we dooted at Romans. It was cool.
Ugh.
That's the
At least
accomplishments
my
of the
people
Welsh.
did- at least my people did colonization.
Oh, that's not a thing. Something you're supposed to be proud about today. Continue.
Yeah, if you're some cock little white boy, you'll be offended by that. But I'm proud of the fact that my, ancestors kicked the shit out of everyone that disagree with them. That's based. That's some manly shit. Anyway, who set those expectations in the first place? Joe Biden campaigned in 2020 with promises to shut down the virus, not the economy, and by claiming to champion the center against the extremes. He pledged to restore civility in Washington. Instead, we found Biden in Georgia comparing his opponents to traitor Jefferson Davis, including members of his own party, for refusing to tear down Senate rules to get his massive election federalizing bill passed. Then we have this odd claim. Tempting as it always is to bash the politician, however, Mr. Biden's shortcomings, I like the way he addresses Mr. Biden, not President Biden. Mr. Biden's
Actually, I
shortcomings
noticed that
are
too.
only...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder why.
Mr.
Mr. Biden's shortcomings are only a marginal
What did
reason
he mean
for his
by this?
unpopularity. Yeah, only marginal reasons. I wonder what the other ones are. The main is one of the dismal reality that half the electorate was against him from the get-go. I wonder why. This is a relatively
It's a
new
mystery.
phenomenon. No, it isn't, because he's been fucking moronic for like 50 fucking years, for God's sake.
I mean, he's not been moronic. He used to just be outright evil. Like, let's be fucking honest. I played that clip of him where he was trying to argue in civil rights bills, and he looks like a crazy person. This
He's like screaming across the stage.
No, he's not screaming. He's being very slow and methodical when he talks, and he stares. He's like real wide open, and he's talking about how the black jungle stuff. It's really, really disconcerting and uncomfortable.
Yeah. The Welsh also made very, very good bows. Yeah, but
Hell
the
yeah.
English had longbowmen, so fuck the Welsh.
Fuck you! Why are you gonna bring? Why do we have to constantly bring this up?
Somebody in the chat brought it up.
Well, how's it working getting necklaced and shit down in SA, dude?
That was the blacks who did that to other blacks. My people would never degrade to such barbary.
I didn't say that you did it. I said you got. They only do it to other blacks. I can't.
Yeah.
People don't know this. I guess I haven't said this, but I'm reading this fucking book about South Africa. It makes me want to kill myself, and commit Minecraft. It's the worst shit I've ever fucking read. I didn't know, but the baby R words in terms of that maybe. I had to put that book down for a week, Spoon. It was so bad. It was so bad. I had to put that book down.
And I said this as well. With regards to South Africans, you will not find anyone more red-pilled than white South Africans. There is also a reason we don't discuss politics with anyone else, because they will not understand it. And then Aiden read the book and went, "Oh my God, no wonder you feel the way you do." Like, yeah, now you see why.
It's truly it's called Into the Cannibal's Pot. I'd highly recommend the book, but by recommend I mean I don't know.
Don't have alcohol nearby.
Smoke some
Induce a
weed,
coma.
drink something, because you're gonna need it. It's awful. Woo, lad, it's really bad. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but continue.
Yeah. This was a relatively new phenomenon. Mr. Trump was the first modern president not to have been backed by a significant minority of his opponent's supporters early in his term. At least The Economist recognizes 2017, but they took almost 2001 off on vacation. They seriously downplayed the dynamic from 5 years ago, however. Donald Trump's political opponents branded themselves the Resistance, and senior Democratic members of Congress repeatedly insisted that he'd only won by colluding with Russian intelligence. The allegations of Biden's senility is a pale echo of the rage and hysteria whipped up against Trump in his first 2 years in office.
I mean, it's completely correct. They did nothing but call Trump fake. They said he was illegitimate. Now, if you say Biden's illegitimate, you go to jail.
Yeah, or you get yeeted.
Yeah, you're done. I mean, like, if you went to the Capitol and said Biden was illegitimate, you went to jail. But if you go on the internet and you say Biden's illegitimate, I'm not saying that, Susan. But if you say that on the internet and they're serious about it, you get yeeted. You're not allowed to say that shit. Now you could say that to this day. You can say it's about Donald Trump. You could say that his election was illegitimate. What a convenient contradiction.
Yeah, it's almost like the left have no standards.
Almost like the left controls the media, as we saw earlier. But they were complaining about they don't control the media and how horrifying it is that they don't.
Yeah.
Goddamn, dude.
You know who votes overwhelmingly left? Sorry. You know who overwhelmingly votes left?
Who?
Jews. Anyway, yeah, I guess the Economist
so? I don't understand the point.
Democrats.
Sorry. Oh.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, it's Spoon's trying to say something
control.
here. I'm not saying anything. I don't understand it even.
No, fuck you. You know that. Anyway. And yeah, I guess The Economist doesn't recall the bitterness of Democrats and their insistence that George W. Bush and the Supreme Gore. The next analysis tries to claim that it's not excusing Biden's failures. But this analysis is not to ignore Mr. Biden's mistakes. The debacle in Afghanistan, which helped propel his howler. The administration underplayed its achievements.
What the fuck? New York Times. This is New York Times who published this, right? The original article?
I don't think so. The Economist.
Hang on, who was it? It was The Economist, sorry. What the hell, dude?
The administration underplayed its achievements in muscling through $1 trillion infrastructure, which increased the inflation, by the way, upgrade and overestimated its ability to pass additional climate and social spending, which no one fucking gives a shit about.
Yeah, no, come on. You're spending more money. You're spending more money. You're going to increase inflation, which is the main thing people are upset about right now. And it's like, oh, let's just spend some more money. That'll fix the inflation issue. No. Oh my god, let's also get rid of American energy independence. That'll make things cheaper, won't it? Incomprehensible stupidity. Incomprehensible. It is malice, you're right, it is malice.
Yeah. It also allowed the package to become defined by its costs, not its contents. Yeah, because the contents is like 2,000 fucking pages and no one in the Senate knows what's fucking in it. Maybe why.
They always do that shit. Sorry about the noise in my microphone. But it's really funny they always do that shit. They're like, well, we're going to make this giant 10,000 page bill. You got to read all of it. However, if you filibuster, that's now a bad thing? The filibuster allows you to read a 10,000 page bill that you filled full of shit. It's part of the reason for it. God damn it.
No. And ultimately made a hash of getting it past the mercurial Senator Joe Manchin. Yet the likelihood that a more aspiring president be almost as unpopular as Mr. Biden suggests that their importance has been exaggerated. What likelihood, had Biden pursued a centrist course, engaged Republicans in the art of the possible politics, and handled Afghanistan without abandoning thousands of Americans to the Taliban, Biden he is now. His initial approval ratings demonstrate that much. Trump came into the office already underwater on approval, but Biden had double-digit positive ratings until this summer. Woe to Biden.
Lad, that graph.
An impossible job.
Lad, that graph.
Yeah,
as a fan of graphs myself, that's a bit of a doozy.
His approval rating that I saw was 59, and now it's 40. And reality speaking, it's probably like 59 to 35.
His approval?
How the hell did Quinnipiac get a 33%?
The Quinnipiac is I think an aberration poll, but I do think that it's probably more than.
Let's not pretend the people in the Senate know how to read. I agree with that. At least in the House, In the House pages, probably. Hence why AOC. She definitely does look like she licks windows. Provided she doesn't crack a tooth on them. What?
I mean, it's true. She just has very large teeth. She can't help that.
Yes. Yes, she can. She can sharpen them down with a fucking file.
No, she just has large teeth. I mean, you can't really help. I don't know how you get plastic surgery to fix that.
By making them smaller?
It's her jaw. It's her actual the size of her mouth. You can't fix
not her
that.
jaw. Her teeth are like bigger than my fucking nails.
It's the size of. I mean, like. By the way, you can fix that by maybe not opening your mouth so wide. I would say maybe is what you should do. Like a lot. Maybe see a communication specialist, a speech specialist who could teach you how to not open your mouth so wide when you talk. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion.
It's not how wide she opens her mouth. It's the dog shit that she says that comes out of her mouth that's the problem.
Very true, and she will never see a speech therapist for that shit.
No, she doesn't think anything is wrong.
No, she agrees with everything she thinks. I mean, no, she's a socialist. She wants to destroy this country. That's overwhelmingly evident. Why is there no pear-flavored ice cream? That's an amazing question, Patricia von Kempen. Sorry, total aside, but I agree. Why is there no pear-flavored ice cream? That's a travesty. Continue.
What was I going to say again? Oh yeah, did you see that AOC said that she was going to take a break from Twitter?
Yeah, she took a break for all of 2 days. All of 2 days. Wow.
Not even.
Not even 2 days.
Yeah. Not even a full day.
Was it really not even a full day? Great.
Yes.
Excellent work, lady. You did a good job.
Which means that she is a.
That's such Twitter bullshit where it's like, I'm leaving Twitter. I'm so done with this garbage platform. And it's like, 12 hours later. Back shit posting.
The reason why it's funny is because she said that it's due to the negativity of Twitter. That didn't fucking last long.
But like, I've seen her Twitter. The vast majority of it is men just trying to fuck her. Like, and I mean, like, they're saying very nice things to her. Like, thank you, queen. Blessed queen. Based queen. Love you, queen. It's really disgusting. I've never seen so much simping. I mean, I guess I have. Like, I've never gone to, like, Pokemon's Twitter or something like that. But I would imagine it's the same stuff. It's just incomprehensible simping. She can say anything and just, queen, 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 I love you, queen. Bruh. She could literally just post quotes from Mein Kampf. And then, yes, Furious Dan, she did pull Lindsay Ellis. She quit the internet for a whole 12 hours. We should all feel bad for her because she had to quit the internet for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Which is hilarious, by the way, because now she's back on. Let's see. What was the last thing?
Belle Delphine simps are fine. I don't mind them at all, by the way. Tyro.
Let me see. Has she in fact tweeted something in the last couple of minutes? I'm hoping she has.
Yeah, you can make fruit with any ice cream.
5 hours ago, she tweeted something, and then 5 hours again. 5 hours, 6 hours. Oh yeah, but I'm going to stop being on Twitter, and then she released 5 fucking tweets.
Mm-hmm. What a shock.
Senior citizens, what is it? Senior kids and people with disabilities in my community, otherwise known as your voting base.
What? No, Spoon. Her voting base is not elderly. They're dead.
People sleeping with bubble jackets on in 18-degree nights despite paying rent because the NYCHA funding to fix their heating and capital needs in the Build Back Better. Do you know how you fix your heating is not fucking destroy your energy independence and get really fucking
how bizarre. If only we had American energy independence, your energy to heat your house wouldn't cost so much. I wonder how Americans felt about that over this last fucking goddamn winter, when their cost of heating everything went up massively because we destroyed American energy independence.
Wow, okay. So she said something sane.
Really, did she? Incomprehensible.
She said break up Facebook.
Break up Facebook?
Yes.
I guess agree.
Well, I mean, if we go by the previous article, they think Facebook is right-leaning, then it would make sense for her to break up Facebook.
Well, I guess that's the thing. Yeah, the left is now under the weird what is this, by the way? Where the left is now saying that Facebook, which has run incredible amounts of damage control for them, and they're now saying, no, Facebook is full of right-wing people, and by that I mean it's full of boomers, you know? So they want to just get rid of all, like, they don't want boomers to be able to talk to each other.
Oh, God.
That's what it is. That's literally all it is. They don't want boomers to be able to talk. And Facebook is where boomers talk, so that's why they hate Facebook now. Even though Facebook, they own Facebook, and Facebook runs propaganda for them. But you can't propagandize boomers.
By AOC today, and you honestly cannot believe the sheer volume of hate, misogyny, and vitriol memes and other garbage that has poured into our mentions. It's seriously overwhelming. Fuck off. You
Oh my God.
Fucking bitch.
You're an elected official. You're gonna get shit.
You shit on Florida all the fucking time.
Yeah, she sits around.
You go to Florida.
Well, she goes to Florida.
Show off that you're there, and then you don't say fucking anything, and then you wonder why you get shit on. Like, just fuck you, you entitled to a cunt. No, fuck this one. I can't stand this woman. She's just an evil asshole. Fuck her.
She is. She's legitimately.
She's a terrible, just the absolute pinnacle of a creature that I can't stand.
I would say she like, here's the thing. You know, I always had that opinion that Hanlon's razor thing, right? Like, you know, which I talked to you about earlier. Like, never attribute to malice, which is better explained by stupidity. But with AOC, it's very clear.
Her, it's a tough shot.
it's I don't know. I don't know. It might be stupidity. It might be evil. But I think it is evil.
I really don't know, because she
Maybe
is
it's a
malicious
mix.
and stupid.
She's, yeah, you're right. She's both malicious and stupid. So
I would say more stupid than malice.
yeah, true. I agree.
Or losing the right to. Oh my God! If I have to hear one more fucking cocksucker tell me about voting rights, fire them out of a cannon. Into
What do
the
they mean
sun.
by voting? What do they mean by voting rights? What the fuck do they mean by voting rights? Let's be honest.
Illegals voting.
Illegals voting. That's what they mean. They mean they don't want to have any kind of capacity to check voter ID. And what's the purpose of that? Because you don't. Oh, I mean, like, I don't. I'm sure everybody here has seen this. But you've seen the Ari Horowitz video where he goes to the ghetto, and by ghetto I mean, like, is it Ami or Ari? Ami Horowitz. I don't know why I was thinking his name's Ami or Ari, but like, I'll just play a little bit of this video for a minute. This was on Fox News in 2016. I'll just play a little bit of this video if you guys have not seen this. I don't think Fox News never claims me, so whatever.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California, to find out if
just play this
wrong.
real quick.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I'm just gonna play this for a minute. He goes and asks. I think we should be allowed to play this video. I think Fox will have an issue, but he goes and asks college students, and then this is an old video, but
usually pretty
the college students think voter ID is racist. All these white college students, women predominantly, of course.
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African-American vote?
Definitely.
I'm gonna just put my
because they're less likely to
thing
have
on this though,
state
just in case.
IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
Yeah.
People don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs.
Black people don't live in easy areas
You can
with
always get
access to
IDs,
DMVs.
do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to.
Black
pay
people don't have access to the
internet
internet.
providers
This is
for
2016. I know this is a couple of years old now.
Black people to
but
go online.
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
Black people don't know how the internet works.
Smartphones, they might not have data. For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or like they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of like black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like
yeah, oh no,
that's
convicted felons
a
can't
huge
vote. Oh
population
no.
Of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask
Sorry for the
black
like.
people
I'm just trying to put
their
editing
thoughts on
stuff
what
on
you
this
just
to make it a
heard.
little bit less easy
Do
to
you have
copyright
ID,
claim.
Convoy? You carry ID?
I love these people.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
Yeah, why would you think?
That's a lie.
I love this clip. Why would you think black people can't carry ID? That's a fucking lie. I love this video. That's why I just think it's important to play it. It's because it's disgusting.
My friends have their ID, so like we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
what is this? Some type of trick candy camera?
I know, right?
Yeah, they think it's a candid camera thing. Like, you're saying we can't get ID. I won't play the rest of it, but like that's the whole fucking thing that's so fucking stupid about this. Being like, oh, black people are too, because that's, let's be real about what they mean by that. Black people are too stupid to get IDs. Am I wrong?
No.
I mean, that seems to be the way that they think about it. No, I don't like that at all. I think that's craziness.
What, and racist?
Yes, it's also very racist.
I mean, I just want to say to them, how did black people vote until now?
They never voted before, Spoon. They were never able to vote.
I mean, they got records breaking votes in the last election. What has changed from then till now that prevents them from voting again?
Well, in 2016, they were saying they couldn't vote. That was the whole thing. I know. I'm gonna use the restroom again one time. Hang on. Oh, I'm gonna go grab the whiskey. I'll have one shot of whiskey before we end the stream. All right.
Oh God.
I'll have one shot. Hang on, I'll have a shot. But
Aiden's gonna be half drunk when she.
No,
gets
I
back.
will not. I will not.
Yes, she will.
Finish this fucking article. I'll be right back.
Which article? Oh, okay. Yeah, what am I reading? Let's see. Burned by expectations, it is becoming hard to imagine any mortal making a success of it, let alone the clay-footed Mr. Biden. Utter nonsense. Trump may not have been popular, but he got much more accomplished in his first 2 years than Biden ever did. Barack Obama got more accomplished with the GOP control in Congress than Biden has managed for that matter. The problem isn't the office or the expectations, it's the man himself. No shit. Get ready for a lot of similar excuse-making from the media as it becomes apparent that Biden's too incompetent to correct his own course. Credit David Ignatius, however, for seeing through at least somewhat. It sticks in my craw to quote Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has been a wrecker in our national politics. Wonder why. But he's had it right when he said Wednesday that Biden was elected with a mandate to bridge the divided country, lower the temperature, dial down the perpetual air of crisis in our politics, which he was never going to fucking do in a million years. Biden is failing in that mission. No shit. Republican obstructionism is a big reason. No, it isn't. But it's not the only explanation. It's because your policies are gay. Biden has been losing his way politically. He never had one, but alright. As he chases support from the progressives in his own party, which is why he's failing, by the way, he has failed to craft versions of his own spending packages, of his own social spending packages and voting right legislation that he could pass with fragile majorities. No, it's because they're just terrible, and it's because he's passing crap. He's been spinning his wheels. Fantastic. Matt Lewis is more on the money. Joe Biden's mandate was to restore norms and work across the aisle to heal the country's toxic political culture. He doesn't have the capacity to do that, by the way. In other words, to not be Donald Trump. This is what I did a video on earlier today. The past week demonstrated how he has failed to live up to the promise. But everyone already knew he was never going to be able to do that. It's because he sucks. In particular, his speech microcosm for a disappointing year of leadership that has created his popularity. Here's a problem with Biden and Trump and the media. The problem is not Biden, and the problem isn't his policies. Or Trump, sorry. It's not Trump's fault, and it's not Trump's policies. Trump was actually, policy-wise, pretty good, actually, and the media just derided him for his fucking mannerisms, which was enough to get him out of office in giant quotations. Now that Biden is in office, his policies are shit, and they can't message because they're shit.
Yeah, no shit.
The problem is the policy. The problem is the media. Well, the problem is also the policies, but you get what I'm trying to say.
I do.
Is that you can't out-message bad policy. It doesn't
No,
work.
exactly. And yet all of these articles are all like, how do we just make better messaging? You can't out-message bad politics. That's the reality.
Cass says, I'm sub to quite a few blacks. How the fuck did they get the internet? Probably stole it from whites. They learned how to hack from some Japanese people and then they stole the Wi-Fi code.
Oh, bruh.
Or they paid the Japanese people to get the code because I don't think black people will be able to do that. What, too racist?
Nah, It's funny. It's a little racist, but
it's only black people who could hack. If they knew how to, or if I met any black person that could hack, I guarantee my first question would be, "How did you do that? That's pretty cool."
Did you finish the article?
No, almost no.
Okay. I got my one shot of what again is this whiskey?
Balcones.
Yeah, pretty good. You've seen me try to take a drink of it before, and you've seen my reaction to it. So.
Yeah, the reaction's either, "Oh God, this is way too strong for me to handle."
It's way too strong
because I'm a
for
little
me.
girl.
What? Fuck you. It is too strong for me. But I will take I won't take a shot, but I'm going to be drinking it slowly now.
Well, you watched me. I was able to down that 54 in one
I
shot.
know, it was crazy.
And I didn't even flinch.
I know, unbelievable. Like I was like,
Aiden's face is crunching like fucking crazy, like just trying to like touch her tongue, and I'm just like dousing a full shot of 54. Like, yeah, that's not bad. Man.
We have
fire breathing mouth. I have.
We have one more video after this, and then an archive of one more article, and then we're done. Do you want to finish this article up?
You live in Texas, Tyro?
Yeah, Tyro.
I live in Texas. Yes, get Balcones.
Yeah,
Balcones.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
It's a fantastic whiskey. I will say, I got it on Spoon's recommendation. I just spent 25 fucking pounds to have it have it shipped overseas, but worth. I only have like, it's not even like a shot, like you like half quarter of a shot, you know. You just sip a little bit of it. You don't want much.
Yeah. The one thing I said that's bad about this is that if you try it and it's really expensive and it's good, you're gonna go, "Oh shit, if I want this again, I have to pay a lot of money." That's the bad thing about buying expensive whiskey that ends up being really good.
Woo!
Is you go, "Oh fuck." Yeah, that's usually the reaction.
Yeah. It's a great whiskey.
Like
Very nice whiskey.
Yeah. It tastes like baked apple pie and cherry.
I don't know if it's got a smoky flavor, I would say that. Very smoky. Not too smoky though. No.
I find it quite sweet.
It is sweet, but it's got a strong hit, and it's a little bit smoky. I'll put it that way.
Now, bear in mind, Aiden is not a whiskey drinker.
I'm not a whiskey
smoky
drinker.
From her versus smoky from me is going to be a very different thing.
With different
smoky from me tends to be peated whiskey from Islay, like Scotch, like Ardbeg or Lefroy.
Yeah, I might.
Smoky.
Ooh, it's a good whiskey though. It's very good. Let's finish this article. I got one more or two more things, and then we'll head out.
No, cheap stuff is gay. If you buy whiskey, buy good stuff.
I mean, again, it was like, I buy cheap shit all the time, but this is for special occasions. Not even special occasions, but like, when you drink one shot once a week, you know, that's like not even a shot once a week. That'll last you a minute. Should compare notes with Ricada. I would, you know, I don't know if you know that I tortured Ricada one time by buying him a shot of Fireball whiskey in real life. I remember looking at his face, he was kind of like, Aiden, like, disappointed.
Here are 5 whiskeys that I would say I would have on my rack almost at all times. 4. Because it's in Texas, and because if it's extreme, the interaction with the barrel is a lot more frequent than it would be in places like Scotland. So because of that, it isn't aged as long. The whiskey.
Oh, I had that horrible fucking peat shit.
Yeah. So 5 whiskeys that I would have. 4 rows of single barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Nika coffee grain, and coffee refers to the type of still, not the actual coffee that we drink.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually a bourbon recipe, but it's made in the old still, so it tastes different.
Mm.
You're drinking Talisker. Talisker's good shit. Yeah, Johnny Walker Black is a good stuff. Is it Johnny Walker Black that is peated, or is it green?
I don't know. I'm just staying away from peated shit because it tastes like Garbo to me. Just my opinion.
Like,
tastes like farts.
If I ever hang out with you, I'll get you an introduction to smoke that isn't gonna kill you.
Oh, Dank posted a picture of his kids. Adorable. Him and his
Yeah,
kids.
that's why I can understand.
Sorry, I looked at Twitter. I got distracted by adorable pictures of Dank and his family. There's a fucking bottle of iron brew in the baby pit. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
If you want a good whiskey for peated introduction that isn't gonna maul you, Lefroy Select is a very underrated whiskey. It is also really fucking cheap. It is dirt cheap. And when I tried it in Canada and I went like, holy crap, this is good.
Look at this, lads. There's a bottle of fucking iron brew.
Daggy Scottish, of course it would be.
I guess you gotta start them early. Oh, they're so cute though. That's adorable. Sorry, I got distracted. It's so cute.
There's some Japanese whiskey that you can recommend, such as which?
Which one? Santori.
Well, no, Patricia's is saying, so I'm wondering which one.
Yeah.
In the ivory bottle in the pit. Lefroy.
Yeah, it's adorable. I love Dank. I'm so happy for him and his family.
Macallan 21. Yeah, sure, if I can afford it.
Ooh, this shit is rough. It's so good, but it's also like... Oh. Goddamn.
What? Hibiki. Hibiki Harmony is the one you're thinking of.
Oh yeah.
I have that. It's behind me.
Let's finish this stream up, dude.
No, people are saying whiskey. I must engage in the whiskey.
Look, he's too interested in the whiskey thing. We've lost like 20 people in the whiskey discussion.
Yo, wait. The whiskey thing. The Hibiki Harmony is the one you're thinking of. Give me back my 3J. Macallan is too expensive. And yes, Lefroy is something that will wrestle with you. At least the 10. I had the 10. The 10 was so fucking gnarly aggressive. The 10 tasted like Band-Aids and being drowned. Lefroy Select is something that you can drink in general, as well as smoky whiskey. It's very friendly. It's quite muted. It isn't like the 10 is very aggressive and sharp. It is quite dull down. Lefroy is a Scottish one.
Yeah, obviously. Are we gonna finish the stream or gonna just end it?
There's a Japanese restaurant I have that's played Japanese whiskeys.
Yeah, I can't control him now.
No, I would not be control, especially when it comes fuck you.
That's what my ability to control.
Glenfiddich 12 is nice.
Well, I guess it's a whiskey stream now. That means I'm gonna smoke a cigarette while I drink this hardcore whiskey.
I am a whiskey connoisseur.
I know you are a connoisseur.
So, yeah, connoisseur. It's not like saying in a fancy, pretentious way. But yes.
We have been streaming for 3 hours, something like that. We're all fine. We can finish the stream. Or I don't have much left. We're basically at the end.
Yeah. I should shut up, by the way, because I'll talk for whiskey for.
No, talk some whiskey. People in the chat want to. Let me ask you guys in the chat. And the people are leaving rapidly. Admonish. How are you guys all? For those of you who are left, are you enjoying the podcast so far? Are we providing a entertaining stream? I guess for those of you who are left, and if you don't mind, we'll stick around and you can listen to Spoon talk about whiskey for a little bit. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I think we're doing. I think we're doing something fun. I don't know. We're not doing much different from what a lot of other people do, but oh well.
I'd say the whiskey that I got. I ended up. There's a guy. On
you'd
YouTube
watch
that
the
has a big
smoking
whiskey
void
channel.
with whites. I see. How come only one thing that's bad for you is bad for you, but the other thing that's bad for you is not the one that's bad for you? Hey,
Because
Tyro.
whiskey is good for you.
Tyro, thank you for showing up, by the way. I'm really glad you're here, man. It's nice to see you.
Could use some books and whiskey recommendations. I will say for the stuff that I would recommend people read, don't mix whiskey and the book. Because you're going to need your thinking for the shit. Because even the stuff I read, I'm going like, I can't drink while I read this shit. It's too intense. I can't read fucking Hopper and read or drink at the same time. No fucking way.
Can we have more monarchy-centered stuff? Rat King says, yeah, we could. I think what we might do is maybe do book readings or something like that and put them on this channel that are more monarchy-centered.
Auchentoshan, yeah.
Because
Auchentoshan is a weird whiskey. It's triple distilled, which is really weird for a Scotch, because that tends to be how Irish... in case people can't tell, I know my way around whiskey. It's like, I'm nerdy.
Yeah, Patricia's the podcast is weekly. It's every week at around like between 8 and 8:30 on Wednesday. Every week. That's the time we're probably mostly 8:30. I always try to aim for 8, but mostly ends up at 8:30 because by the time I like sit down to be like, oh, get everything prepared, I start to like I'm like aiming for 8, but it's usually not done with me preparing all the stuff.
What Void just said is like fucking fighting words.
Culture smoking cigarettes is just an addiction and yeah, it is. I mean, I
was expecting a pushback.
No, I totally agree. I'm not smoking cigars. I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm smoking menthol cigarettes, which is like the worst. Like, just my personal thing.
I will say I've not had the brimstone. I was told the brimstone is fucking gnarly aggressive.
I mean, I don't know I forget what this one is, but it's a delicious whiskey, but it's intense.
No, most Irish people do triple distillation.
Why don't you tell people you're speaking your normal accent if you're going to talk about whiskey?
This is my normal accent. What the fuck are you
Sure,
talking
it
about? We have to do a video on the top 10 monarchs.
Oh, we should do that. We should do a top 10 monarch video. That'd be fun.
I could do a video on some monarchs.
Whistlepig is a good whiskey. Whistlepig is a delicious whiskey.
I can't get my hand on the Whistlepig. I actually have a bottle of Angel's Envy behind me, and I was very skeptical about that whiskey. It was actually given to me by gift, for a gift by a friend of mine, which was
like you don't get drunk on this kind of whiskey. Like it's not the point. I mean, you can get drunk on it very easily.
No, you can very easily, yeah.
You can, but you only want to have a little snort of it, like because it's a very good taste. So you want to just enjoy the taste of the whiskey. Because like I have like less than half of a shot, and it's gonna take me like 20 minutes to drink it. So
this is how you know I've drunk or I've had too much to drink as far as my whiskey collection overall, because not a single whiskey that has been mentioned I don't know. Even the obscure ones like Tomatin, I know.
Well,
every
good for
single
you.
whiskey that has been mentioned. Yeah. No, that's not good. That's bad.
I don't know if it's bad or not.
I will say the one that I've been most tempted to try has been the Brimstone, but the Brimstone I was told is like fucking like I'm from Texas middle finger kind of aggressive. So.
Well, I told you I went on a whiskey tour back when I was down. When I went to the fight between Andy Worski and
that never materialized.
And Tonga that never materialized. I went on a whiskey tour when I was down there in was it Kentucky or Tennessee, and I don't remember. We went down there. We went on a big whiskey tour, and it was pretty fun. They went on a bus, and they took us around. Just went to a bunch of different whiskey distilleries. I bought a shit ton of whiskey, most of which was garbage. And like you got upset by some of the things I bought. Like I bought like a watermelon whiskey.
Offending my sensibilities.
It was pretty good though. It was really tasty.
It makes me want to take off my top hat and beat you with it. Like you don't mix flavors. Thank you. I tried to know my shit. I've had extensive.
It's in Nashville, yeah. But we were in the area, so I went like all around. Like I took the bus all around the area.
I will say the one that I've enjoyed the most, probably that I've gone back repeatedly, is the 46 Four Roses single barrel, the coffee grain, the Balcones. I've actually bought 2 bottles of that, and I'm trying to think of one. Do you know what's good? The Glenmorangie Quinto Reuben.
I have no idea.
That's aged in port.
Hey, making the heresy of fruit wines. What's wrong with fruit wines? I enjoy fruit wines.
Yes, that's aged in port, which is wine. That's pretty good.
Yeah, a rule of thumb, anything that needs additional flavoring probably not worth drinking. You're probably correct. You're probably correct on that. That's why I like. Here's the thing. I like clear alcohols. That's why I'm new to the whiskey game. I like a nice, clear Rekia vodka. That's my favorite vodka. Icelandic vodka. It's very clear. It's run through porous stones. It's a very, very clear vodka. Very clean, clear, tasteless vodka. Fantastic vodka. As for gin, I would say the best is probably Beefeater for me. Of the ones that are readily available. More obscure gins, of course, I could give you.
That's the name of a drink.
Beefeater?
That doesn't
Are you
sound
kidding?
friendly.
Beefeater is like the UK's main gin.
How would I know this?
Because you live in Ireland?
First of all, I don't live in the UK, and secondly, I don't drink gin.
Well, it sounds like your problem.
No, actually, that's yours.
Beefeater is a fantastic gin.
I want to know that shit. No, no.
Beefeater's a fantastic gin, dude. It's my favorite.
Like gin.
Why don't you like gin? It's the best.
Because I've had gin and I thought, why would people drink this stuff?
Because it's delicious, that's why.
No, whiskey's way better than gin.
No. Gin's the best. Got 7-Up.
Hang on with me and then we go drink and then you tell me if you fucking
Well, are you going to come to the conference?
Don't know yet.
Okay, so nobody... Alright, he doesn't...
Okay,
Spoon doesn't know yet, but I am coming to the... Okay. I will be going to a conference... Actually, I can announce this now, because it is happening for sure, because I've checked, and apparently it appears to be fine. I will post an event here, post a link to it. I will be... the last event I talked about going to, I wasn't able to go to because of COVID shit. But... I will be at this conference in late March in Birmingham in the UK. It's the Nomos event in Birmingham. I'm scared to go to Birmingham a little bit. Just saying. However, I will post a link. If you would like to come to the event, it should be fun.
Hanging out with me would be poor choices for your liver, apparently.
No.
Can I say for the record that is not the case? I am actually
drinking gin is like licking a pine cone. No.
I'm actually a very conservative drinker.
He is actually.
Yeah. I actually just stop once I do.
Yeah. If you're interested, however, this is unrelated, but if you're still here and you're having a good time and you'd like to come hang out with me, I will actually put an ad for this in one of my main videos in my probably at the end of my next video. Scrump is hosting an event in Birmingham on March 25th and 26th. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing there. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but if you'd like to show up, hopefully I'll be able to come. As far as I know right now, considering that Boris has dropped all of the... Because last year when I was supposed to go to the Shieldings event, I ended up not being able to go because I wasn't sure if I could come back to my own home. And it was a little scary, so I was like, oh, I don't want to go to England and then not be able to come back to my own home in the British Isles. So... But this one, it seems fine. So I believe that I will be here. If you would like to come to the event here at Nomos Birmingham, I think it'd be really cool. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm trying to convince Spoon to come to it. I don't know if he will or not, but that's up to him. I will be there, though, regardless.
And you lagged out.
Oh, did I lag? Sorry.
There we go.
Either way, just to reiterate, I will be at this event in Birmingham in late March, the 25th and 26th in Birmingham. If you'd like to come and hang out with me, as far as I know, as long as nothing changes weirdly in the lockdown kind of criteria, I should be able to go there because I'm not Well, I'm not vaccinated, so I'm not. But now that the UK restrictions are gone, it shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully.
Ooh, in 1996, Glenfarclas. How old is the Glenfarclas? I'm assuming it wasn't
in 1996. I'm guessing. There's a year there.
Yeah, but that's just but that means it was bottled in 1966 or 1996. It doesn't tell me how long it's been aged. And so I'm asking, how old is it?
Yes, Tyro, Birmingham, UK, not Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. But yeah, it'd be awesome if anyone else wants to come hang out in Birmingham. There's the link. There are tickets available. They're between £43 and £54. I don't know again what all we're going to be doing. I think also a meal is included with that price, so you get food with that.
Ooh, 19 years old. That's pretty good.
Taken out of context, it sounds weird.
96 to 2015. Yeah. 19 years is an unusual age for a whiskey. You tend to go 12, 15, 18. Occasionally you'll find 8-year-olds.
I feel like all this has been taken out of context. Occasionally you'll find 8-year-olds. What?
I don't think I've ever downed an 8-year-old.
Oh my god, I'm not. I disavow. Did I send you that horrible thing? I know.
No, I've had.
I know. We're talking about whiskeys. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the bourbons tend to be about 4. Most of the ones I have are 12-year-olds.
Disavow.
And hold on, look. I don't know the oldest. I think the oldest I have is a 12. Yeah, I think the oldest I have right now is a 12-year-old.
Oh my god, I disavow so hard. Yes, it's a disavowal. There's no more vowels. This is like Jeopardy. Not Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune.
But it's whiskey, for God's sake. I can say
I'm just being weird. I'm just making a meme. All right.
I do have a 12-year-old Hakushu downstairs.
Oh, I don't know about your 12-year-olds.
Which I haven't opened.
I don't know about all the 12-year-olds you haven't opened up yet. Anywho, I think we're gonna.
18-year-olds are too expensive.
Oh my god.
Get the 12; they're affordable.
I think we're gonna end the stream on this horrifying note. We are talking about whiskeys, obviously.
Bavarian whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I think we're pretty much good. The only last thing I wanted to cover, which I thought was funny, we went through pretty much everything that was important. The last thing that I just wanted to laugh at for a moment here was this, which is another CNN sex pest is removed.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Zucker. Bye-bye.
Yeah, the president of CNN has resigned because he apparently was having some, how can we say this, hanky-panky with the next person in charge, I want to say.
Mr. Zucker,
56,
is among the most powerful leaders in the American media and television industries. The abrupt end of his 9-year tenure immediately throws into flux the direction of CNN and its parent company, Warner Media, which is expected to be acquired later this year by Discovery Inc., one of the nation's largest media mergers. But why? As part of an investigation into Chris Cuomo's tenure at CNN, I was asked about a consensual relationship with my closest colleague, someone I have worked with for more than 20 years, Mr. Zucker wrote. I acknowledge the relationship evolved in recent years. I was required to disclose it when it began, but I didn't. I was wrong. As a result, I am resigning today. What does it actually mean, by the way? Like, it wasn't a...
Someone wrote the Child Nookie Network.
What does it actually mean, by the way? Like, do you think he, like... It couldn't have been, like, an underage person, but it was a young girl, obviously.
No, it's not, because they've been together since like 1996.
Oh, okay. So wait, so it was just somebody he was involved with? What does this mean then?
Yeah.
Why did he resign?
I think it's because it was supposed to be disclosed.
Oh, okay.
The relationship, and that's why.
Oh, well, CNN back at it
consensual.
again with the sex pestery.
Yeah, because I remember a while ago, Cuomo, obviously, Governor Cuomo, he did some shady shit. I remember Don Lemons apparently grabbed someone's dick in a bar somewhere.
Yep.
And now this fucker.
Allegedly. I mean,
yeah.
Like, how many people has CNN lost in the last 6 months? Or had been forced to disavow in some way?
Like 3 of them at least?
Yeah, I think it's now 4.
A conflict of interest. I have to run the business, but I'm trying to get my dick wet, yeah.
Basically. Wow, looking great for the most trusted name in news. Sure is, isn't it?
Who can you most trust to have some sort of, sexual liaison on the news?
The most trusted name in news to have a sexual liaison with other people. Well, I think that's most of our
Crying nonce network.
I think that's most of our news stories.
More whiskey.
Well, I've got whiskey. We can go hang out somewhere else. We'll probably be hanging out somewhere on Discord. How about that?
Oh, do you know it's a good whiskey to get for people who are wanting to get into smoky whiskey? That bizarrely isn't as aggressive as I thought it would be based on what I read, but Lagavulin 16.
That's what everyone says. I think it's what Ricardo likes too.
Lagavulin 16 is... I feel like he and I would talk for whiskey for like a good long while.
Yeah, you could, well, we'll see if I can get Ricardo on sometime. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Anywho, guys.
Like, sir, I hear you like whiskey.
he does. Anywho, guys.
Yeah, but like, I think you'd be in the background going like, "Oh God, why did I get him started?"
The great denouement. Anywho, thank you guys so much for showing up to the 4th episode of our Palmcast podcast. Sorry, it was a meme. I made a meme to a thing that no one else knows about me.
Does this podcast have its own server? It does not.
It does not. But I have my own, and I won't necessarily be on my own server. I'll just usually hop around on Discord and talk to people for a little bit. That being said, I do use my own Discord, but a little bit sparingly, only because I know that when I get on my own Discord, I have to entertain people, and I don't want to let people down by being boring or annoying. Anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching and hanging out, and I hope you all had a wonderful time, including our impromptu whiskey discussion. That being said, yeah.
Oh fuck no! I'm not rejoining a centrist militia because I cannot talk about anything that isn't American politics in centrist militia.
Why
like
can't you
monarchy,
rejoin centrist militia with us?
Because if you mention monarchy in that place, it's full of spastic Americans who does not understand the concept that just because you go to a different type of government, it isn't going to automatically result in tyranny.
I'm not sure about that, but anyway.
Yes, you are. That's why you simp for it.
What do I simp for? Hang on.
Monarchy.
Yes, I don't simp for monarchy, but I promote it as a reasonable alternative to democracy.
It's a better alternative.
Yes, I agree. But I'm not dogmatic. Anywho, guys, thank you all so much for showing up. We will be live at around the same time next Wednesday, and hopefully by next Wednesday the Streamlabs links will work, so maybe we can.
By the way, there is something that I want to do on this server if I can get access to it sometime during the week, or if I don't do it live, I can at least pre-record it and put it on here. No, because I make a lot of fuck ups, especially the shit that I read. What I was thinking of doing, either on my channel or this one, I'll see how it goes, is to upload like a chapter of a book, because I can't do the whole book, because the whole book would be like 5 hours. To record like a chapter of a book at a time, maybe 1 or 2, and then just post it on here for like an hour.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll do it like a scheduled one, so then I can talk in the chat with hearing my own voice and probably wanting to hit myself for how I mispronounce the fucking word. But I was thinking of doing that for this channel.
Yeah, sure. That'd be awesome,
like
Spoon.
Monarchical books, yeah.
Anywho.
And yes, I will be on Discord probably now.
Thanks for showing up, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye-bye.